Makes a bit more sense than the last one we saw from Hectorville, but we won't go into that. As the players from the B grade come off the ground, we're waiting for the arrival of the A grade team. A very happy B grade team. Probably a few changes could have been made to that B grade team to improve it immensely, but you know, Steph's got to make those decisions, and he made them at the table on Thursday night, and that's fair enough. But he won't be getting too many Christmas cards, but we won't go into that either, as we wait for Walkerville A grade to run out onto the field. Well, how did you see that B grade game, Butch Hocking?
Yeah, it was a fine effort by the Walkies boys. I thought they attacked very hard. Their commitment to the body with the ball was good. Ingle Farm were very undisciplined, and they certainly paid the penalty for that with the 2 send-offs in the last quarter.
Absolutely, Damien, absolutely.
But gee, it is really gunning up and building up to be a real crackerjack grand final here between Walkerville.
Here they come.
And Walkies make their way out onto the ground.
Led by Loves, the man who's got less ribs than when he started the training last week. But he's ready to come in. They're running out as a team. That's good to see. They're waiting for everyone. Macca comes in last. He'll be a stalwart in defence today. And Japes is clapping already. That's good to see. And they rip it. They almost destroyed it completely, apart from one little bit at the top. I think they should have tried to get a bit more height there when they went through the banner. But you know, those things only come with practice.
Well, they certainly do. They certainly do. It will be interesting to see who lines up on Simon Farrell at centre half forward for Norwood Districts. Quite a damaging player. I believe he kicked 6 or 7 goals last week, Nick.
I wouldn't have a fucking clue. I don't know who the guy is. I've never seen him before in my life. I wouldn't know him from a bar of soap. But I'll take your word for that, Damien. I'm sure that Pete Window and his Brains Trust will have been considering this during the week, and will be. They'll have someone to look after him, I'm sure.
As the B grade are cheered off the ground after a fine victory. Well, all is almost in readiness here. Do you expect a physical game, Nick?
Well, Damien, I'm not sure. Norwood District sort of have got a reputation that if the going gets tough, they start hitting heads. But I think, sorry, Hectorville, these amalgamations and mergers and things, they're just difficult for me to cope with. But I think that there should be a fairly clean game, but it should be a hard game, at least for the first 3 quarters. And if Hectorville are down in the final quarter, they'll probably adopt the same attitude that Ingle Farm did towards the concussion, that if you've been concussed, you can't drink alcohol. So they'll probably try to make the party tonight for Walkerville as unpleasant as they possibly can.
Well, I would certainly think so. I believe Norwood Districts actually paid the penalty last year. You would have expected them to learn from last year's grand final when they did have 3 players sent off in the 3rd quarter, trying the rough stuff tactics, and it really just doesn't work, does it?
Not at all, not at all. And number 14 for Norwood Districts, I think that's Scotty Ullman. He's always been a bit of an arsehole, really, ever since grade 6 basketball. I remember playing against him when he played for Payneham, and it was really one of the most unpleasant experiences of my life. And it's basically not jealousy at all, the fact that he's playing A-grade football, but we won't go into that. Anyway, the teams are sort of kicking for goals here. As we look over onto the ground, we can see Walkerville having a few warm-up kicks for goal. It's good to see. And your tip for the day, Damien?
Well, I just see the Cats having too many options all over the ground. I'd say Walkerville 31-40.
I think I'd have to agree with that too, Damien. 31-40. And all is in readiness here at Brighton Oval for the start of the next game, the A-grade game between Hectorville and Walkerville. Thank you. Damien Hocking's just done a wonderful service for humanity. He's just gone and got us 3 beers up here, one for Chappie, one for myself and one for himself. Umpire holds the ball aloft. There's the siren. Moves in to throw the ball up. There's the toss-up. The big men fly. And Norwood Districts win. Hectorville. I'm going to get this wrong all day, so I'm sorry for that. Kicks it in, and it's a good mark straight away by number 4 there. Is that Farrell?
No, that's not Farrell. Farrell is number 7 out here in the pocket. But that was a very fine grab, and you'd think he'd make the distance from there with the wind.
Absolutely. I think he owns a chocolate store in town, doesn't he? Farrell Lee? Or no? Oh. But he's just missed the goal there. Yes. And that's a pointer for all the young fellas. The custodian, Will, to kick out. Waiting on the boundary umpire. Well, no, we're not waiting on the goal umpire, in fact, but that's all right. Will kicks out into this slight wind. How would you see the wind here today as Mudgee fights for the ball?
I would consider it probably be a 2 or 3 goal breeze blowing to the right of screen.
Thank you, Damien. And the ball seems to have stagnated temporarily as the umpire moves in. He looks like Laurie Argent a bit, this umpire. Let's hope he's not as bad. The pitch with a magnificent tap. Lee Manuzzo, Greg Forrest with the shepherd. Didn't do anything at all. Goes it straight out to Lubbs. He's got a spare rib to go. Mudgee on the boot quickly. Number 10 for Norwood Districts, Hectorville, whatever you want to call them. They've got a drive in near their place. Well, they used to anyway. Now it's a NutraSweet company. And Farrell, oh, that's Farrell, that's the danger man. Number 7 has kicked a goal.
Oh yes, he's always a danger down there on the forward line. There can be no questioning his ability to kick a goal, but you know, with some close checking, they'll certainly be able to ride him out of the game.
Didn't he play it on the wing in the last game, Damien?
Of that, no, I'm not sure, Nick. I really couldn't say whether he did or not.
Thank you, Damien. I seem to remember he was on the wing quite a bit in that game because he was having a lot of kicks, but Norwood District certainly weren't in the race in that last final.
Well, all I'd really like to say is I hope the umpires are right on the fullbacks for the scragging today. I've really had enough of that scragging over the past season. There's been far too much of it going on as the ball comes out to centre wing. Lubke in the race for the ball, picks it up, turns back into the pack. Great handball to Mudge, or caught a little bit high perhaps. Goes to Graham. Graham over to Cleary. Cleary drives long into the
That was a good Cleary-in kick, that one. Magnificent. And what's the umpire decided? He's given the kick to Hectorville. That's not good. That's not a good kick. And I think if the Walkerville players get hungry, they'll be able to go talk to Lubbs for maybe he'll be able to organise some spare ribs for them. But and speaking of the man himself, there he is. He's got some pace. He falls over. He gets hit in the back. What's the umpire done? That's magnificent play by Lubke. With the experience like that, he knows just when to fall over to get the free kick.
Oh yes, Nick. There can be no question that Walkerville certainly do have some more of the experienced campaigners out there today, and that will show as the game wears on.
Absolutely, as White, he reads the ball well, but he can't keep the ball in, unfortunately. He tried hard there, Mr. White, but unfortunately, he thinks he can get a stat there with a handball. He thought he could get a stat. I'm not sure that Karen Forrest will mark that one down. He'll claim it later, though, absolutely. Flux fly. That's a good, well roved there, well roved. And he breaks away. No Walkerville player went to him. Kicks long. Scotty Ullman. Oh, look, he's playing like he did when he played basketball. It's just outrageous. Gets the handball over, sets his teammate up, just like in grade 6. And that's Farrell again, number 7. He's proving a danger already. 2 goals, 1. Oh, what would you do now, Damien?
Well, they've certainly got to be very conscious of him down there. He's obviously on fire. Once again, Guido Spina, the centreman, involved in that play. He looks very proppy on that left knee, though. However, bearing in mind that Hectorville do have the advantage of the wind, they'd certainly want to be 3 or 4 up at quarter time.
That's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. The only problem with number 10's left knee bandage there is that he's actually got an injured right knee, but he got confused this morning. There goes the ruck. Scotty Ullman playing basketball again. And the umpire's going to throw that one up again. Yes, I think so. Oh, Tempers looking a bit frayed in there. They're having a little chat there. No, all seems under control. Umpire quickly in there to throw the ball up. That's 90 degree. Oh, a bit off centre that one. Bit off centre that throw up. We won't go into that though. Pidge, beautifully. Out to Steph. He's a B-grade coach. Looks for his brother Pete Window. That's unusual. Kicks in long to the forward lines. Oh, that was around the neck. Absolutely. Well, maybe it wasn't. The umpire moves in to throw the ball up.
Well, I really thought he was scragged unfairly then. I believe that's Downey down there in the forward lines. And
Downey down there. Very good joke.
Yes, well, the puns really do tend to fly from the commentators, such as Don Scott and yourself and myself, all of the fairly much the same intellect and I guess the same sexual preference.
Anyway, this boundary umpire to throw it. He's not as good looking as he in fact is not as good looking as the one in the last game, but that's not the point at this stage. Is Pete Window, is that Pete Window? Kicks into the forward line. Ball comes loose. Very scrappy play at the moment. Very scrappy play. I think there could be a little dog out there playing soon by the name of Scrappy Doo, Puppy Power and all that. The umpire's decided to throw the ball up.
So it's a ball up around about 35 metres out from the Walkerville goal, kicking into a very slight breeze, which actually feels more to be coming across the ground now.
In fact, it's changed directions completely.
Well, yes, in fact, I'm probably inclined to agree with you there, Nick. My hair is certainly going a different way now than it was probably 10 minutes ago.
And that must disturb you greatly, I'd say, Damien.
Yeah, a free kick for too high to Downey, 35 metres out, directly in front. I don't really think he'll miss this. There shouldn't be too much bother. Kick is on its way. The goal umpire hasn't moved. That's a first for that Cats.
That's magnificent, although I must disagree with you, Damien. The goal umpire did in fact move. He took 2 steps to the left. 2 steps to the left. So I think if you're going to commentate, you're going to have to do it accurately from now on, all right? We want objectiveness so that the Walkerville wonderful human beings and the Hectorville dickheads, so that there's no animosity between the teams, okay?
Oh, definitely not. But 1 goal, 6 points, trailing Hectorville, 2 goals, 1, 13. And around about the, I guess, the 12 or 13 minute mark of the first quarter.
Absolutely. And the ball who gets thumped towards it, Eddie Graham or Eddie Hocking, depending on who you talk to. Looks in there. Oh, Will. Kicks it along. Straight to the Hectorville player. Willie. Back into Farrell there, but Greg Forrest, a man who played in a 1978 under-17 premiership team, looks longer and sees Macca, who stops and stands still for half a second. Under 18s, I've been corrected. My apologies. I should get the record straight if I'm going to be trying to bring up his past history. Anyway, in the meantime, Dave Conway's got a free kick. Inspector Gadget. 55 metres out, extends the leg. Looks for Downey over the top. That was a good attempt at a grab. It could have been pulled off the ball there. Umpires awarded the other way. Interesting decision.
Oh, well, I couldn't follow that one myself. But however, Walkerville are restricting Hectorville very well with the win. It's got to be a Walkerville free. No, I don't believe that.
Outrageous behaviour. But I think the umpire just saw that Mr. Farrell was involved in the play, and he wants to get some chocolates for his girlfriend. So he thought he'd get some cheaper ones. So he gave the free kick to them. Oh, that was well done. He's played on though. Mudgee managed to push him quite well there, and he's succeeded in getting the ball out of bounds in the right forward. Well, I don't know. Depends what way, whether you're looking up or down the ground. Whether the right forward pocket for Norwood Districts, Hectorville even, and the boundary umpire prepares to throw the ball in again.
Probably midway through this first quarter, brought to you by Walkerville Travel, thanks to Bill Bostock and Co. The ball comes in, it's down in the Hectorville forward line. Macca picks it up, flies the handball out toward Woody onto Nobby. Nobby drives towards the boundary line and finds it. Well played, Nobby Obst. Absolutely,
and we must thank Schlicker's Meats for the... Schlicker's, whatever they do, for providing some wonderful food for us at the interval of between the A grade and the B grade game.
Miraculously, Adam White actually received an FAD further down the ground. That was a fine grab from the Hectorville player in front.
Absolutely. Number 5 with a haircut. He's looks long, kicks like a mule right up to the wing. White is there. He's got set up. Number 4 went for the head. Absolutely. Absolutely. No question of that. He should get dragged for that. If the Norwood Districts people had any idea, they'd drag him. Finds Macca in the centre. Passes on quickly to Mudgee. Mudgee looks long, does the rat shit kick, and he finds the Norwood District player who passes to Scotty Orman, who's still playing basketball. He wanted to go for the 3-point line there, I think.
Oh.
But Sully, magnificent play. Looks in long, looks for Downey. That's a good kick. That's a great kick.
That is a superb pass. And Mark Downey's going to be a danger up there for Hectorville today. There's no question at all. The player is a class player.
Absolutely. He has had his ups and downies over the year, but I think that given everything that's happened, he will certainly be a thorn in their side.
Most definitely. As he moves in now from around about, kicks from about 40, he's off the side of the boot a little and he's missed to the right.
In fact, it was a shocking kick and he missed a goal. The goal umpire probably moved as much as he did the last time you called it too, Damien, I'd say. Anyway, the custodian for Hectorville's ready to kick the ball back and he's looking for options. Maybe a share, a debenture, something like that. If he can't get an option, he's got to consider all these other options. Now he's got the brace on the wrong leg as well because he's found Mr. White there on the half-forward flank and he breaks away beautifully. It's the 5th tackle. Kicks in long and it's a good mark by Norwood Districts. That number 5 there's taken a few marks, I think, Damien. I think it's number 5.
Well, he is. I could almost believe him to be employed as a bouncer. He does certainly have that look about him, and I don't think he'd have a lot up top either.
No, but he might not play that much cricket, Damien. Lehman does though. Magnificent chasing. Gunny onto the boot. He's going to the Bahamas soon. Sully's set up. 3. Macca burst through with pace. But he's still got the brace on the wrong leg. I'm not sure what he's doing there. He might change that. He finds a Peter Window on the left foot. That's a great kick. That's coming back. It's coming back. Not enough. Not enough.
A fine effort from Pete Window there, caught on his left foot. We really can't say too much about Pete because he's a club coach, so just a fine effort.
But we should point out that it is the final game, so it doesn't matter what we say. Pre-season's still 4 or 5 months away.
Oh yes, but the Window family are renowned for their long memories.
That's right, they look like elephants, so...
Well, yes. Yeah. Memories, that was.
Memories, of course. Memories, yes. In a memory sense, yes. Anyway, the custodian for Norwood District's Hectorville is ready to kick the ball in again. He's not sure what to do. He's thinking about getting a brace put on one of his legs, but he hasn't decided which one. Anyway, his kick's in long, and that's a great mark from White again. My God, deja vu! We've been here before. Oh no, Whitey's changed it. He's found Pidge in the centre. The roving Pidge looks wider. They're going for the other side of the ground. They're trying to get over there so you can see the Lenny's sign. Make sure you go to Lenny's. And he goes in short and finds Braddles. Well done, Braddles.
Well, Braddles normally is a great kick. Oh, he's got another short option on again. He's found Dave McGlashan. Well, that is very poor checking by the defence. Very poor.
Absolutely. Would you back him from here, Damien?
Probably not into this breeze, no, Nick.
But the breeze is with him, though, Damien. Anyway, he's given it a good ride, but Lubbs there couldn't get his spare rib over there in time, and unfortunately the ball has been rushed through for a point. And Norwood District's Hectorville are going to kick the ball in again. The custodian, he's going to start looking for options already. He's a class player, this guy. He's got the brace on the wrong knee still, but we won't go into that. He finds someone to player in short. That's poor checking by Steph Window. I think he should pay more attention to that than he does to the B-grade coaching. Not that he does to the B-grade coaching, but we won't go into that. As the Hectorville gets a free kick on the half-back flank.
Well, once again, I can't say too much about Steph because I play in the season. If I want to play B's, there's just nothing I can say against him.
But it doesn't really matter, though, does it, Damien? I mean, as the pass comes out, lace out, and that's a good grab. That's a good grab. And Will tried to steal a few metres there. He's an experienced guy. He's an accountant. He knows that one or two can make a big difference to things.
The boundary umpire just fell over for no apparent reason down there in the forward pocket. Just fell over his own feet.
Just like certain other people we could name, but I can't name them at the moment because I don't know who they are. As a point gets kicked by Norwood District's Hectorville, I think they'll be pretty upset with that. But who's going to take the kick in here? Greg Forrest, the man who played 200 games a couple of weeks ago. Doesn't look a day over 40. He looks for options. Will leads the wrong way, but he's gone that way! He's gone that way! What's happening? Oh no!
That was a terrible kick out. We were outnumbered in big men out on this side, and he certainly took the wrong option there. Although he has kicked to the defensive side.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Kicking from around about 55. He drives it in long to the goal face, and Steph Window's got his name all over this. Oh yes. Very fortunate, very soft.
We thought he might have changed his name there for a while after he dropped that one, but he's managed to clear the ball out to Phil Cleary with a handball to... Who's that? Is that Graham Wood?
Yes, it is.
Graham Wood, magnificent. Oh, he pushed in the back as he kicks it. FAD.
To be taken by Jamie Sullivan, filling a very important role today. Key half-forward position. Sully drives long. Downey out on his own. He's not going to be first there, though. And the Hectorville player has time to steady. That's very poor checking. The Walkerville players caught up the ground, and Walkerville rebound. Nobby bursting through the centre. What a great effort going for Bradrock, and got him.
Oh, Nobby! Amazing play. And he's got but you can tell he's got the brace on the correct leg. It's magnificent play. He managed to burst through the pack there and just kicked perfectly. I think probably the problem with Jamie Sullivan's kick before was the fact that he is suffering from a bit of bronchitis, the young fella. But all the balls are still in play. Norwood Districts runs it out there. Hectorville, sorry. Whatever you want to call him. And that's an absolute shit kick. That looks like the one Greg Forrest did before. But the ball's been called out. The little kid boundary umpire is a gutsy boy. He's decided that ball was out of bounds.
Oh, gutsy call from there, Nick. Very gutsy call. I've got the utmost admiration for the boundary umpire.
Absolutely. He's earning his money today, Damien.
Oh, very much so. I really don't envy the task, as Woody is dragged down from behind. Play on's a call, but a legging free against Woody. Well, who knows? 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Yeah, the fact that he grabbed his leg is completely irrelevant, I think, Damien. Scotty Allman, he's playing basketball. He thought he could do an assist there. He wasn't quite sure what was going on. Finds Lee Manuzzo on the wing. Lee's on his preferred left leg. Puts it in front of Braddles. It's fucking important, Braddles. You've got to get the ball. And he kicks the ball long. Pidge! Went for the kill there, but couldn't find it. Number 4 is pretty stupid. He's been pretty stupid every other time we've played him.
Oh yes, as Steph drives in looking for Mark down, he got him! Great hands, great mark. What, 30 metres out, directly in front, and this will actually put the Cats in front.
Which is quite amazing, considering the fact that we are in fact behind. Although I guess it's reasonable to assume that if you start the game behind and then kick a goal and get in front, you will in fact be in front.
Well, that's the key thing, I guess, Nick. To win a game of footy, you've got to be in front on the scoreboard.
Absolutely, Damien. As he lines up, he's put the ball on his way. The umpire moves about 1.5, maybe a foot to the right, and he's called that a goal.
Well, yes, as Ian Harford runs a drink out to Greg Forrest, he really didn't start there, but gee, Slugger, really, he's an amazing man to watch run. He really is.
It's a superb effort, the way he gets that drink out, and Greg Forrest, he takes it like a professional. He takes the drink just, you know, as if he's played league football. It's a magnificent effort, and he got out there to Nobby Ops, who did some magnificent football before too. He took that drink really well as well, I thought.
Well, he did, and it's the Cats, 2-3-15, leading Hectorville, 2-2-14. We must be, 22 or 23 minutes into the first quarter by now, I'd say.
Quite possibly, Damien, quite possibly.
So the ball up goes again, the Hectorville knock it away. Nobby lost his footing a little there. Mudgee comes charging through. Great play, Dave Mudge. He drives forward, but taken very safely.
And he found the Norwood District's Hectorville player on the chest. Dave Mudge might have considered once playing for Norwood District's Hectorville, judging by that. And what's happened? What's happened? The umpire's paid it to number 5, who's a big boy. He's given 50. He's given 50. That's outrageous. It must have been that he saw Love's spare rib and he thought maybe that there was an extra player on the ground.
Oh, gee, that's really good acreage he's got out of that 50 as well, I might add. I reckon that's a good 60 or 70.
I think we should buy some real estate from this guy.
Oh, you're not wrong, Nick. Umpires are the most magnificent real estate salesmen. They're very generous with their acreage.
Indeed, even allowing for the fact that the interest rates aren't as good as they could be at this time. Of course, the boundary umpire we had in the last game, she had some pretty good acreage. And he's missed. And the interesting thing is that the Norwood, the Hectorville cheer squad cheered amazingly. Imagine what they'd do if they got a goal. Will kicks in, finds Mudge. Oh, it's in the back. That's outrageous behaviour. Lubbs goes back to the spare rib. Basketball player Scotty Ullman goes to the boundary line. That's out of bounds. That's out of bounds. He thinks he'll get a throw in for that, and he will, because it's football. It's not basketball.
Well, yes. Every time the ball does cross the line, this is for our viewers in Ireland, without bouncing, it is blown in by the umpire and a throw-in occurs.
Unless, of course, it's kicked, in which case it will be kicked in. But we won't go on to that. That's just a technicality of the rule. Number 4 looking pretty stupid again. He was unable to keep the ball in play. And Phil Cleary, he's a bit of a professional ruckman nowadays. He's played up at Balaclava before. He goes for the ruck again.
And I was just going to say before, Phil not getting a lot away from the centre, but he's certainly on top around the ground. As Hectorville drive in towards the centre half forward area, Farrell couldn't get into the game. Then Gunny takes a strong mark, rebounds to the wing.
So I was just going to say that I think Gunny wants to go to the Bahamas again. He's looking at a holiday. And Pete Window cleverly takes the ball out. He's a class player, Pete Window. He knows when to take the ball out. If he can't pick it up, he's got to knock the ball out and make it look like he's trying to keep it in.
Well, for Walkerville to be going well, they certainly do need gun firing.
Oh, you got that one off like a shot. And Willie, he's got guts, the young fella, and he finds Nobby. He's got a brace on the correct knee, and he puts the handball out in front there of Gunny, and there's 2 of them there, Mudge and Gunn. Gunn runs the ball up from the half-back line, and he finds, that's another one from Dave Mudge. I mean, we're a bit worried about what team Dave Mudge is actually on here. He seems to be supporting the red and yellow and blue. Anyway, Norwood District's Hectorville come in the front. That was a push in the back, and two Walkerville players collide. Farrell. Oh, that's a sweet kick.
Oh, number 3 for Farrell. He really is on fire down there. He's giving us something to kick at. I really do think Pete Window must have a look at the positioning down there.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, there's only so much chocolate that you can take in one game, and Farrell Lee, he seems to be he seems to have struck a sweet spot today on his boot. Anyway, hopefully Walkerville will be able to come back from this. They're a good team, Walkerville. They've played it hard. They've played it tough all year. Haven't lost a game apart from one to Lockleys, and hopefully they'll be able to come back from here. Anyway, Phil Cleary. He jumps as a wobbly toss-up, but Phil Cleary gets up there, lubs with his spare rib, finds Steph Window, who needs a haircut, finds it out to Pete Window again, on the left, goes around to the right, and he finds the Norwood Districts player, Hectorville player.
Very disappointing, Nick. Pete with his experience should have done a lot more with the footy from there, I would have thought.
Absolutely, but he's done well there, he's recovered well.
Well, yes, he has, and now it goes to Guido Spina, the Hectorville centreman.
The question was, why did Pete Window shepherd the Norwood Districts Hectorville player?
He's going to have a go for
Yes, but you missed it back here. Pete Window shepherded the Norwood Districts Hectorville player. It was a great shepherd, but it wasn't a lot of points since Hectorville had the ball. Anyway, we've got the ball out wide. We've got 3 of them. We've got numbers here. Is that Mudgee? He's looking for a Norwood Districts player again. Will he find him? Oh, I'd be disappointed with that. He didn't find him that time. It was a bit of a contest. Anyway, the ball comes loose.
Yes, and Hectorville seem to be driving towards the centre again. There's that man Farrell. He's up the ground now. He's going to top the Spina. Put him under the hammer. Eddie's got him. Oh no, back to Farrell again. They've got to come unstuck here. There's too many Walkerville numbers. They drive towards half forward, but there's no one home for the Cats.
I think that Whitey there thought he was Dave Mudge and kicked straight to Norwood Districts. Anyway, Hectorville kicks the ball out of defence. Whitey, he pushed out, and the umpire's seen it that way. Lee Manuzzo plays on magnificently. He saw a stat for himself there, and he looks for Downey. Downey outnumbered though, 3-1, 2 to 3 to 1. Big screw punt back to the wing. Phil Cleary flies, kills a Norwood Districts Hectorville player, but Nobby's back there. What's he going to do now? He slows down, he comes back onto his left foot, which is his preferred kick. I was in the back. No, umpire didn't see that one that way. Steph Window, who needs a haircut, gets the ball out quickly. I think Steph Window should consider growing a beard so that maybe people would think he had hair. Anyway,
yes.
He's found Lubs there with a spare rib.
Yeah, great delivery to Lubke. That was magnificent footy by Steph Window to get it over. Lubke into the goal square. Brad Brook, that's 50 back on the line, son, I think from there. Yes, takes him back on the line. And Brad Brook won't miss this. Scores will be tied. Through it goes.
Magnificent.
3-3, 21 apiece.
And it's good to see that the Ingle Farm supporters are sticking around for this second clash, Damien.
Well, I don't think really, Nick, that any of them either have the brains nor the ability to drive home at this stage.
Quite possibly, but they do, however, have a bus. It looks like a bus from the Partridge family, but it doesn't have the colourful flowers on the side. They've got a new ball. Walls kicked the ball. It was a magnificent kick. It's the best kick we've ever seen.
And
Whoa!
Whitey will claim that as a stat too, because he did mark that and also handball to the umpire.
Magnificent. He wants stats all over, doesn't he? Any opportunity he can get. Okay, the umpire's going to throw the ball up here. Oh, that was unusual. I predicted that one. Nostradamus would be proud of me. Scotty Ullman plays basketball, doesn't get the ball. Finds Whitey on the wing. Whitey looks long, kicks long, looks for Brad Brook. Norwood District's player in front. That's a magnificent mark. Well, it wasn't that good, but anyway, kicks long. Eddie Graham. Oh, he didn't really want that one.
A little bit soft then, I thought, Eddie, but you were the man there, not myself. So go forward. Good punch away by Willie there at the back. Oh, and he's off again. He's punt but high. Lee Manuzzo in the box seat, couldn't get there. Greg Forrest showing the experience. Goes back to Manuzzo. Manuzzo, yeah, he's got Pidge. Pidge will go to Eddie, and the Cats are off and running.
Absolutely, like a cat on a hot tin roof. Although it's not that warm here today, it's actually quite a pleasant day for football. Sun's not too bad, and the wind isn't really that bad either. The ground's in good condition.
Looks back the middle, the mark has dropped. Downey's picked the ball up, he's fired it back to Woody. I tell you what, if we can get another one here, no, we can't. Play on's a call, and it's a free kick for in the back.
That's an unfortunate play. Braddles did everything right except get the ball. He actually gave away the free kick as well by infringing, but he did everything right. He tried well. It was fucking important that he tried. Ingle Farm. In fact, it's not Ingle Farm, it's Norwood Districts.
Yeah, Ingle Farm, the green and white ones, Nick. They played earlier.
Thank you for that, Damien. And they played paddleball, and that time they got it right. Pete Window was shepherded by the Norwood Districts player. He got it right that time. It's good to see.
Even though it's even at the moment, I can already start to see that Norwood Districts is starting to struggle for options. There's not a lot of movement. The move's been made. Mudgee is on to Farrell.
Mudge to Farrell.
Yes, and that is great to see. That is great to see. Great coaching by Pete Window.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. And Mudgee kicks long. Who's he found this time? He didn't quite manage to find the Hectorville player he was looking for that time. Lee Manuzzo fights there. Oh, one-hander. Lee Manuzzo unlucky. He did everything right there.
Yeah, fine mark centre wing. Now, what can he offer up forward? Not a lot of options again, but I tell you what, they're out in front. Oh, terrible effort. As Greg Forrest will pick up, clear to Steph. Now Steph can go to Conroy or Eddie Graham. Eddie picks up again, dummies around and can chip out towards the wing. Steph Window well run from half back. No wonder he won the A-grade best and fairest.
Exactly. It's a pity he doesn't grow a beard though, so that people think he has hair. Anyway, Steph Window looks for options up forward, kicks long. It's a beautiful kick to Sully. Sully with bronchitis, kicks in long. He doesn't muck around, sets up Downey beautifully. He's put him in hospital for a week. And Norwood District clears the ball out. They look for touch, don't find it. They actually find one of their players. They wouldn't be happy with that.
Well, no. I mean, I would have preferred touch myself as Eddie intercepts the ball, drives it long. But there's a wall of red and blue and gold Guernseys down there. They've dropped the mark. The Lubs. Oh, good effort, Bradbrook. Tackling hard. Great work.
It's a pity he didn't get the ball, though.
Well, no, but he did the hard things. As it goes to the outer side, Steph with the hands over to Dave Conroy. Conroy drives into the pocket. But once again, a wall of red, blue and gold Guernseys. So clear again. They really are struggling down there across the half-back line. As Nick Goodenough is going to depart for a bodily function. So they come to centre wing. Hectorville leading the race for the footy. He's got away. Oh, he's been dragged down now, holding the ball. A great tackle. Peter Window, great work. He's off now. Has a bounce. Looking towards the half-forward line. Jamie Sullivan is his target, but no, a mark in front to Hectorville. Not much movement coming up the ground again. He sweeps wide. And yes, a very good mark in front, number 28. He already is. He's already had a few touches this first quarter. Disposal not that good onto the boot. Went looking for Farrell. Farrell had it punched away by Mudge. Greg Forrest is the first to recover. Fires out towards Steph Window and Scott Allman. Steph fighting hard. Might have been grabbed without the ball. No, says the umpire. Hectorville drive forward. Steph's got it again, but he's handballed straight towards a couple of Norwood District's players. Sorry, Hectorville players as they drive in forward. Towards the pocket, Farrell out on the lane and a good grab in the forward pocket. Simon Farrell, 35 metres out. He's bagged 3 already. In fact, he's kicked all of the Hectorville goals to date. I believe that Steph Window has moved Dave Mudge onto him in a tagging role.
He's left footer, right footer.
Well, yes, he is a right footer. Thanks, Brad. Brad has backed him from here. I've taken him up on that offer and we have a schooner on it. As Farrell moves in 35 metres out on a tightish angle and he's off to the left. 1 point is the score. 3-4-22 Hectorville. Walkerville 3-3-21 and Nick, how was the toilet?
Well, it was really good down there actually. It was Jamie Williams, Frank Howe and Scotty Patrick. We're having a shower from the last game. I think they'll probably be there for quite about an hour or so. They're working up a pretty generous lather on each other as Dave Mudge kicks the ball out of defence. He's found a Norwood Districts player again. I think Pete Window will have to have a word with him at quarter time.
But just reminding you, Nick, the opposition are Hectorville. Oh, that's caught far too high.
Although I should point out a few times, Damien, you also have said Norwood Districts instead of Hectorville.
Well, yes, I have, Nick, because if a side wants to change their name constantly, well, so be it. They'll just be known as
whatever we call them. Yeah, exactly. As the ball goes out of bounds there on the in the forward pocket position for Norwood Districts Hectorville.
Yes, so Walkerville Fitzroy here in the grand final, and the ball comes in.
Geelong Fitzroy.
Geelong Fitzroy. As we understand that Westies were in front last time. Gunn fires out of defence. Boom! A big bomb to the outer side. Whitey! Whitey's on! Whitey! Watch him go. He's fighting in long. Braddles leads in the race for the footy. He's given the long handball away to Lubke. Put him under the hammer. Love! Look at that. He can go to Whitey again. Who's got Pete Window out wide. He'll settle from there. Smothered.
Settled very well. He settled a bit too long, in fact, Pete Window. Holding the man. Holding the ball or something. And the Norwood Districts Hectorville players shepherd each other and they stuff up. But number 5 does a magnificent backflip. He could be playing lawn bowls out there. But finds Macca. And he sees Steph's out wide. He saw him. That's magnificent vision. I think OPSM will sign Macca up for the next ad campaign as Steph Window kicks a point. Kicked a point there. He should have done better on the siren, Damien.
Yeah, so scores are tied here at quarter time. Walkerville 3-4-22.
You want to hold that? I'll go down to the Norwood Districts one. You go down to the Walkerville.
I've got to go to the toilet.
Oh, okay. Okay, we've been out to the Norwood Districts Hectorville huddle, and their coach said that they made a few mistakes there. They made a few easy mistakes and let Walkerville in there. Pete Window's response to that was to his players, if you don't want to work hard, piss off. It wasn't quite the scientific approach that the Norwood Districts Hectorville player adopted, but how did you see that first quarter from the showers there, Brett? Tickets for Pluff Felice, the man who's played in 3 premiership sides.
Yeah, the first quarter was very even, I thought, Nick. Hectorville obviously very keyed up. Got a lot of ammunition. Last year's runners up in 06. And Walkerville going for back-to-back premierships. Obviously Hectorville very keyed up. Coach Shaw on the wing gave him a little bit of drive. Farrell at centre forward. Interesting move. Mason starting in the forward line as well. That might have thrown a few of the Walkerville opponents, but all in all I think we're set for a very good game.
Thank you for that. It was very witty commentary there, Brent, as Hectorville doesn't quite win the ball out of the centre. Whitey goes long, finds Pete Window. He's going to make amends. He's not going to. He's worked hard, and he's not going to piss off. He's going to kick a goal. That's magnificent play from the coach of the A grade. And I think the more we say about Pete Window, the better he's going to play. Yes, Brent, we are in fact Brighton. We are the team which now are 3 goals for, leading the visitors 3 goals for, which is of course a draw.
Scores locked away. 1.5 minutes in this important second term. Can't really see any moves there, Nick.
Not really yet, Brent, as the rucks fly there. Norwood Districts, Hectorville wins the toss. Eddie Graham, magnificent play, but Scotty Allman, that's outrageous. He thought he was playing basketball still. The man, he's playing on, he didn't go back over his mark. That's outrageous behaviour, and he finds another Norwood Districts Hectorville player there. Clark, the man who owns a whole string of swimming pools around Adelaide. He's pretty happy with that. He lines up from a long way out there. He's only got a short little leg. I don't think he'll manage that. Greg Frost, the experienced player, wasn't anywhere near that play. But he's kicked the goal. I think he's kicked the goal. Was that a goal? Absolutely. That's outrageous. As the Norwood Districts Hectorville Football Club runner runs out, well, ambles out. I'm not sure what his aim is. Maybe he's trying to encourage them a bit, but I don't think they need any encouraging at the moment, Brent.
It's interesting in last year's grand final where Hectorville, about this time last year, were about 3 goals up. Walkerville's runners started taking over the game. Now there's a few problems with that score, but I'm not really sure if it's 2-4 or Walkerville 2-4 to Hectorville 4-4. I believe it could be 3-4 to Walkerville 4-4. The big men fly field clear. No real decisive tap. Eddie Graham, Stephen Lubke, quick hands to McGlashan, half-forward flank. Cleary Crumbs, good work from the big man. He is a rover. Cleary long to full forward. Downey one-on-one. Downey use of body. Not effective. Hectorville reasonably deliberate, and the umpire has played it. That certainly was deliberate, Nick, wasn't it?
Absolutely, Brent, absolutely. I'm not sure. And he looks back in the centre there. Magnificent kick to Steph Wind. I'm not sure who kicked it. Graham Wood. He's a good rover, Graham Wood. I've roved with him before. He's.
Notice that's only a 40-metre line too. It's not really a 50-metre line. It's a 40-metre line. So Steph will know well within his kicking distance.
Is that right, Brent? I think most of our viewers would have been fooled by that. As Steph Window puts it on his boot, and it's just gone to the left there. I think maybe if he'd put Butler and Goodenough in the B grade side, he would have kicked that. But as it was, he's managed to miss that one. As the custodian for Norwood Districts Hectorville gets ready to kick in. The scoreboard attendant seems to have absolutely no idea as the Norwood Districts Hectorville player kicks in. Bradbrook tried well, he got the front position, but unfortunately the ball carried just a bit too far for him. He's a bit short, Mr. Bradbrook. I think maybe he should consider it fucking important to grow bigger. As the ball comes out to centre wing, Pidge flies in front, Scotty Allman, he manages to get out there, he looks for the 3-point line, but he couldn't quite find it. Puts it in front of Farrell, he couldn't get the chocolates there on time. He's a sweet player, but not that good on that occasion.
Ball out of bounds on the half-forward flank for Norwood Districts, or Hectorville's are now known. About to be thrown in, Eddie Graham still in the middle, being picked up by Tony Zancarella. Dave McGlashan racing on a half-full flank. Jamie Sullivan sorts an half-forward. Ball thrown in. Phil Cleary, decisive tap. Spina feeds off to Morris Caputo, who goes long. Mark Williams in front. I don't know who that number 1 is. I can't pick him up. We haven't got him in our record. Goody.
He's a Norwood District's Hectorville player, Brent, number 1 there, I think, because he's got a red, blue and yellow uniform on, which would suggest that. But be that as it may, the boundary umpire prepares to throw the ball in. He's a brave kid, that one. He throws it in again. Magnificent throw in. What's going on there? Well, the umpire's awarded a free kick. He's given it... Oh, outrageous umpire. He's given it in front of goals to Norwood District's Hectorville. Jamie Mason, I'm informed. Isn't he an actor?
He's a bit of an actor. He's also a football player on a Saturday. Mason, 25 metres out, shouldn't miss this, but geez, they're renowned to spray him a bit. But he steers that one through, being the left footer. And Norwood Districts, or Hectorville, on our Coca-Cola Brighton scoreboard, lead 5-4-34, Walkerville 4-5-29.
Yes, I think he's probably been practising every 24 hours at Daily Oval as the boundary umpires run the ball back towards the centre there. Brave kid, that boundary umpire. He's thrown the ball beautifully. Could have been a forward pass, that, but the umpire didn't see it. Gets the ball in there. We're looking for a bit of a lift there from Eddie Hocking, Graham, whatever his name is this week. From Steph Window, from Steve Lubke, the man with the extra ribs.
They've noticed one move that Norwood Districts are running 3 rovers, Ormond, Clark and Zanko, and they're all changing on Eddie Graham. So that'll keep the elusive Eddie Graham very busy today as he tries to feed one to Steph Window. Ball in the centre. Norwood Districts with Mason go forward to Fell. Appear to get a push in the back. Maybe a little bit soft, but the umpire's played it that way. He's played the advantage rule to Ormond, who steers it through. And Norwood Districts now 6-4-40, lead Walkerville 4-5-29.
Yes, they're breaking away there. Scotty Ormond took a shot from the 3-point line and seemed to really eat that one up. I think he enjoyed that. As the ball comes back to the centre again, Walkerville wanted lift from here. I think they're in a bit of trouble at the moment. Norwood District's Hectorville seems to have a bit of a run on, and as Chappie fixes up the camera there, that's what the bump in your screen was just then. The man's had a few quiet beers. As the umpire throws the ball up, that's not quite perpendicular. It's towards the Norwood District's Hectorville goal. We'll be able to complain to Amateur League about that. As the ball comes out to a Norwood District's Hectorville player, and Macca throws a throw. The umpire didn't see it. Dave Conway, Inspector Gadget, magnificent play. Magnificent, finds Phil Cleary. He goes for the drop kick. Macca shoves him in the back, and the umpire saw it. It was a nice try by Macca. Guido, the killer pimp, apparently. The man who's got the bandage on the wrong knee. He's pretty upset about that. I think they tried to change it at half-time, but it didn't work. Nobby in front, didn't work. Mudgester. Oh, Gunny held without it. Play on, handballs in front of him, and the ball umpire will call for that for about throw-up.
I think Hectorville really throwing everything at Walkerville. I think man for man Walkerville more talented, and they've really just got to hold this Hectorville attack, and I think you'll find that they will, and they'll go and win the game. As Nobby feeds to David Conroy. Not really decisive kick, but Steph Window somehow did nothing and steers that one. I'd say no, he's just missed Bradbrook in front though. Goal umpire says it's mine. Unfortunately, Walkerville 4-6-30. Now 10 points down, Norwood District 6-4-40.
Bradbrook was in fact in front there, but unfortunately he was on the wrong side of the goal post. But the custodian, who's got a bandage on his wrong leg as well, you'd think they'd be able to work it out in the training room there for them. But Norwood District's Hectorville custodian to kick the ball back in. Looking for options. Plenty of movement there. Well, there was, as he bombs the ball along to number 5. Phil Cleary! That's got to be the mark of the day so far.
Phil Cleary up high, and he's renowned to do that. He's very good, safe pair of hands, and he's a good field player, Phil Cleary. And he's winning the taps. He's about 55 metres out, Nick. I don't think he can kick it. He's not the most reliable kick. No, that's true, though. But he certainly, when he played for Balaclava, I hear he took a few pretty good grabs out there. As the ball comes in there, Whitey just run away with it. He doesn't know what to do, though. He's set fine. Pete Window found his coach. He knew he wants a game next year, so he's looked for the coach in the grand final. He knew that giving the opportunity to Pete Window to kick a goal would be very important to his chances next year. What do you think about that, Brent? Yeah, all that, as it may. Actually, Walkerville about to make a change too. Nick, Bob Draper warming up, and Mark Williams. Now that is an interesting one. It could be an injury. It must be an injury because that's a blow. Mark Williams coming off for Bob Draper. How do you see that one, Nick? As Peter Window fires towards goal and has nailed it. Well, as long as Peter Window keeps kicking the goals, I think he can do what he likes. But he's coming off with Dr. Claus, so presumably there is an injury there. Or if there is enough, the Dr. Claus had him for a while, there will be an injury there. But Bobby Draper's coming on now. Will not looking too well. He's gone straight up the race. He's not coming onto the side. Looks like an arm. He's holding his arm, unless it could be an elbow. Mark Williams, that is a bad blow. Draper going into the fence now. Now that's an interesting one. You've got a lot of what I call offensive players in defence. Draper at centre half back, Manuzzo and Gunn all like to run. As the ball goes up, centre spinner feeds to Draper. Gee, he's straight through. He's right into the game. All right, a little bit slow to get rid of it. Goes centre half forward. Unfortunately, nobody home for the Cats. Lee Darrington marks at centre half back. Oh, not really a key for Lee Darrington. Just finds the chest or the ribs of Stephen Lupkin. How are they holding up, Nick?
Well, he doesn't seem to have come off too badly so far. I think he's got a bit of sauce on the ribs at this stage, but we don't want to take anything away from him. Certainly no takeaway from him. Sully's pinned there, but it's held to him, the umpire says. I think that Lubbs has come good from the rib injury, which threatened to end his season prematurely the other week. But anyway, the ball's thrown up there in the forward lines of Walkerville, and it looks, what's the umpire? Is awarded a free kick. Not sure who it's going to at this stage. It's going to Bradbrook. No, to Wood. He's always at the bottom of the pack, Woody. I think he likes to be jumped on by lots of hairy men. I'm not sure about that.
I don't like putting the mock on anybody, but Graham Wood in front of goal is probably one of the best kicks in the club. And let's hope they can see this through and give Walkerville the lead. Played about 10 minutes in the second quarter. Woody, 25 metres out, directly in front. Distance won't be a problem. Accuracy is not. Walkerville 6-6-42. The lead, Hectorville 6-4-40.
And they take the lead there. It's a magnificent effort there by Walkerville. They've been down pretty much all day so far, and they've managed to come back in a good way. Yes, the good way is probably the way I was trying to describe it, but I had a bit of trouble with the diction there. As the ball gets thrown back to the central umpire, and a whole lot of water gets thrown out from the umpire's mouth.
Unusual in the first game. I notice there's unusual differential sinking coefficients in the middle, Nick.
I'd say that was probably true, actually, Brent. The angle of the vectors is quite different from what it probably should be in the circumstances. As the can kid takes another can from me, we can rejoin the game. As the Nelson District Hectorville player, number 1, he's never played, I don't know who he is. I will have to check the record at half time, I think. Eddie Hocking Graham does magnificently there. He's still fighting when he gets the ball out. But number 4, he's one of the stupidest players ever to dot a jumper. Gets the ball straight out to Edward. Macca. Lubbs. Gunn. No districts. No, Gunn. He fired that handball out. There's in the back there's right in Macca's back.
Walkerville certainly first to the ball in that series of movements. McGlashan centre wing, Grandstand centre wing, got options inside, uses Wood. There's another one with Cleary now. Well, no, he's gone back to Manuzzo now. Lee has got a paddock. Normally a very reliable left foot kick, and that's no exception. White. I don't like it. I reckon he's too offensive for him. He's got to tighten up his defensive skills. He tends to drift down like that's all right, but if the ball is rebounded, well, he's in trouble, Nick.
Yes, I've often thought that Mr. White is a pretty offensive sort of player. When I've been talking to him socially, he seemed pretty offensive to me. As he lines up for goals and he puts it on its way. Umpire runs in. That's a great kick. I mean, the fact that he doesn't have much of a defensive side of his game and never actually goes past the half-back flank, I don't think matters as long as he kicks goals and continues to perform well in his function which Pete Window's set for him.
Yeah, well cool, Nick, good enough. Walkerville 7-6-48. Lead North District 6-4-40, and one wonders, have Hectorville given it all? Is that all they can produce? Will Walkerville run away with this game, Nick?
I think it's quite possible as the bounce up goes. Macca gets the ball out of the centre after good work from Eddie Graham. Sully jumps on the ball, kicks it forward, back the wrong way to Dave Conroy, Inspector Gadget, who knocks over Eddie Graham. Draper to Window. To the ribs. The ribs couldn't pick it up. He's 4-on-1. He had no chance. Sean, the man with the haircut. Finds Inspector Gadget though. Inspector Gadget runs on. Beautiful kick. I think he's been studying the Dave Mudge School of Kicking. He's kicked straight to the Norwood District's Hectorville player.
Norwood District's hold up at centre half back through there. Ruckman hasn't really got a lot of options. He'll probably have to go up the middle, and he does go up the middle with a 40-metre floaty drop punt. Mason in the middle. Let's see how the umpire reads it. He has given it to Walkerville.
Phil Cleary, yep.
Phil Cleary, perhaps edged out there a little bit by Mason.
I think Phil Cleary played for that magnificently. He's an experienced player. He knew he wasn't going to mark the ball, so he just sort of fell forward beautifully. It was really good effort. Anyway, the man with the brace on the wrong leg runs forward. Greedo, the killer pimp. He's a 50 and you've never seen him before, and that's kicked it straight to someone you've never seen before. Number 1 for Norwood District's Hectorville.
Guido Spina, probably like Lubke, probably not 100% fit, maybe 80% fit, but very, very good value to his side. Number 1, oh gee, 45 metres, he's given it a ride, but he's just missed. And Walkerville 7.6.48, still holding off Hectorville 6.5.41. Walkerville by 7 points. David,
And
no, Bob Draper about to relieve.
how do you see Greg Forrest kicking in there, Brent? The man with one of the probably the shortest legs on the ground.
Yeah, Greg in his 201st game, he's a pretty reliable kick. Let's see how he goes this instance. He goes wide to the scoreboard end, scoreboard flank, everybody up, no decisive movement. Cleary feeds back to Draper, it looks like, goes into the centre, foot race, Window, should have the pace, edged out by his opponent. Good tackle, Peter Window.
Oh, well done.
Good defensive skills. Has an option in Lubke, but decides to go longer, looking for Mark Downey. Good use of the body, and Mark Downey will pick this up, experience, and will go. Great work, Mark Downey.
And that was well called too, Brent. Well called. You knew, I think you knew from Downey's skills that he was going to kick that. The way he read the ball, he used the body magnificently, and he managed to get the ball onto the boot and kick this ball straight through for a goal. To see the drinks running out there into the centre of the ground. Steph Window takes a drink. Only a quick one though. Woody takes a drink. Steph Window only takes a quick drink because he doesn't need to drink too much. He's more of a camel sort of player. He takes one drink and he'll hold on to that for weeks as the ball gets ready to be thrown up again.
Interesting observation of centre. Eddie Graham doesn't really have to get hands on the ball. He's just deft. His deft touches are really decisive. There he is again. Quick hands, or it's just a tap on. Eddie's very constructive in the middle. As Bob Draper, what's the umpire called? Holding the ball. Throw. Throw. Good call, Nick. Good enough. Tony Zancarella. Just shy of centre goes. Oh, the floaty kick.
Not that shy.
Foul in front. No, he isn't that shy. Foul in front. Now, I read that as a soft free kick. Simon Farrell, 45 metres out, directly in front. Is a long kick, but accuracy often leaves a bit to be desired, Nick.
Well, he's already kicked about 3 goals, I think, Brent. And as we've said before, the umpire's pretty keen on getting some chocolates for his girlfriend at a free reduced rate. So Mr. Farrell Lee's got the chocolate in front there. He lines it up. He puts the sweets on the way. It's touched on the line, I think, rushed through. That's great defence by the Walkerville boys. They really play that defence hard, I think. It's sort of like the Margenot line, except that it's not going to get breached as much as the French did. Anyway, Nobby to bring the ball back in. He's got the brace on the correct foot. He looks for Phil Cleary, and he finds it. Nobby. Magnificent play. But he's given it the other way. What happened, Brent?
Yeah, I thought it was a fair mark to Phil Cleary. But anyway, umpire calls it as he sees it, and 18 delivers to 1. Now, number 1, we haven't got a name for him in the budget, but he's marked 40 metres out directly in front, or not, I wouldn't say directly in front, perhaps a 45-degree angle. No real breeze to speak of, as a few of these B-grade premiership players are regaining their seats. Number 1, 40 metres out directly in front, and that kick, no, it's floated off into the square.
You understand your own voice, don't you, Nick?
Sorry? I do. That's why I'm being a lawyer.
Umpires found a free kick to Nobby Obbs. No, it's not Nobby Obbs, it's David Mudge, who relieves the scoreboard in. Hectorville, strong mark in front.
I've got to do something.
Goes short, looking for Farrell. Bad option. Walkerville, the numbers. Gun. Over to the running Bobby Draper. Has a bounce. Time for a bounce. Better kick it now. Does. Goes to Mark Downey. Downey in front. Perhaps got a nudge. Did get a nudge. Mark Downey, if he can just provide him with an option. Walkerville probably well on their way to getting on top. Downey about 50, 52, 53 metres out as it's a 40-metre line.
I think you get the measuring tape out there.
Is that the 40-metre line?
Yeah, it's only a 40-metre line. Downey to centre forward to nobody in particular. Hectorville's ruckman, perhaps dropping back a little bit. Dave Sheeran, a few special comments coming over from Melbourne, home of Carlton.
Yeah, but who cares about Carlton? Walkerville in attack. Peter Window steadies, shoots long. It's a good kick. Looks for his brother Stephen, who settles in the square, and he's Hectorville getting back pretty well. They've done that all day. Walkerville's attacks have been repelled, but it's Peter Window with a high leap. It's play on. The umpire calls play on. It's the Hectorville player with the Spina.
Guido.
Sorry, Guido Spina. Number 4 with the ball for Hectorville. Macy gets the handball out. It's Eddie Graham there. He's looking good. He's lost the ball, but he shepherds well to David McGlashan. McGlashan with the left foot. Looks well. Got Window.
He does look very well.
He looks well, he does. He was looking ill yesterday, but looks very well.
I've got to get vegetables.
And he's run down well. Well done, Dave McGlashan. He's run down to the pocket, made the spaces, all good football all round.
Dave Sheridan, of course, will remember David McGlashan, one of his best mates, who's marked 30 metres out. Tight angle, but there is a little bit of daylight in those pockets at Brighton, and perhaps can steer this one through, Nick.
There's often a bit of daylight when the sun's up, but it's a funny thing about that. But unfortunately he's off target on this occasion. And he got one in the 85 grand final, apparently. 85 or 87. We're not entirely sure which one it is, but he was captain that year, apparently, and thanks to Dave Sheridan for special comments as the ball comes in.
Dave McGlashan, captain of the 87 premiership side. Stephen Kernahan, captain of Carlton's 87 premiership side. As Sully feeds to Eddie Graham, and a little bit wide for Mark Downey. Now it's a foot race. Darrington feeds to his Hectorville teammate, has relief in Spina. Time for a bounce. Allman attempts to do the Shepherd Spina into the middle and finds Black. Black will hold it up, centering Eddie Graham on the mark. Looks for Farrell. Farrell got a bit of room and we'll mark that. Oh, now is that 50? No, umpire calls it. Calls Mudgee back 3 or 4 yards. Farrell's marked 55 metres out, directly in front.
Mark Downey, not the quickest player in front of goals, Brent?
No, but neither am I. And Farrell goes short to Mason.
Walkerville haven't gained the advantage in this quarter. Really have to consolidate now. If they let Hectorville in this quarter, there could be some difficulty. But the back line's worked well. There's a good kick, and no one marked the mark, and it's offline for a point. Critical time in the match. Very, very critical. Today's word is critical. And it's not be able to kick out. Walkerville have an opportunity to make some inroads here before half time. They could crush the back of Hectorville before half time, and it'll be good football. It is Inspector Gadget again. Has the luxury of a bounce in the granny. He'll write home to his parents about that one. It's Peter Window. Off the ground. Good. He looked well. It's Gunny with the ball.
And Gunny kicks it in long, well, pretty short kick actually, but anyway. He's got Woody held without the ball. Pete Window, he's just had that magnificent soccer. Maradona Window, they call him. He gets in again. Eddie Hocking running towards the ball. Soccer. It's the wrong game, boys. And number 17 for Norwood Districts kicks the ball long. And he kicks the ball in there. The Rover's attacking there. Scotty Allman, what's he want to do? He wants to play basketball. He shepherds Steph Window, which is a bad move because Steph Window's bigger than him. But Norwood Districts kicks the ball up. It's an up and under ball. So that wasn't going for the ball. Come on, umpires. Scotty Allman takes his own player out. They went to a dinner, a movie. It was really romantic. Scotty Allman's got the ball from the 3-point line. He puts up a long bomb and Farrell, the chocolate king.
Simon Farrell, smart, well called, Nick, good enough too. Simon Farrell's marked 20 metres out directly in front. We believe he's kicked 3 and has probably missed 1 or 2. 20 metres.
Could be 4 in fact, Brent. Could be 4.
Could be 4, or perhaps he's lining up for his 4th. It's not a bad effort before half time. Simon Farrell 20 metres out, tends to spray him a little bit. Good kicking style though, runs straight. Delivery this time, no, missed again. Simon Farrell does miss a lot. He's kicked about 3 goals, 3, Nick.
I think that the reason he missed that was Dave Mudge's magnificent style on as he stood the mark there, as he waved his arms in his face. Anyway, Nobby kicks the ball back long. He looks for 37 Dave Conroy, but Mr. Ribs is there. Mr. Spare Ribs, he shepherded beautifully, Ribs. Looks long there. Oh, Phil Cleary in front. He knows how to play. Thought about the handball to Bobby Draper. He realised that would be a bad move in the circumstances. Goes back for a kick. Lubbs has got metres in the Cleary. Kicks long. Downey, Sully, Downey. Downey, soccer. They're playing soccer. I think they're playing the wrong game out there, Brent. Someone should tell them that they've got 4 poles at the end of the ground.
Norwood District's clear of the series. Hectorville clear through Darren Allman. Dash Allman goes to David Conroy, who's got plenty of space, and finds Spare Ribs. Unfortunately, Spare Ribs gets on the half volley back to Conroy. Can he kick it from there? Nearly the impossible. Downey in front, 1-on-1. Perhaps got a nudge. Umpire didn't see that way. Braddles, always the opportunist, slams it through. Craig Radbrook slams it through for his second. Walkerville 9-7-61, lead Hectorville 6-8-44.
Very good football there. I've never had the opportunity to look at this man before, Braddles, but he looks the goods. Read the ball well off the pack. The ball came in kind of in a confusing manner. Walkerville perhaps need to streamline the midfield play to get the ball down quickly, but well read and a good goal.
I think probably the best way for them to streamline would be to cut their arms off. Then they'll be able to cut through the air without that wind resistance there on the side.
Interesting couple of moves from the Hectorville coach. Shaw going on to Window and Merchant coming on to Jamie Sullivan. Merchant going to centre half back, normally a forward. A Spina, beautiful deliverer of the ball. Guido Spina, and finds Scotty Orman 25 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
So Scotty Orman from the foul throw line. He's got 1 from 1, I think, here. Shooting at the goals. One point. You will run with that joke all day, and he's missed. He's got 1 point out of that, so he won't get the second basket as the umpire throws the flags. Because for those of you who've tuned in late, the problem was that Scotty Orman was a bit of a bastard when he played basketball in grade 6 for Paynham Primary School, and since then I can remember it. In the meantime, the umpire's given a free kick to Phil Cleary. Phil Cleary's earned that one. Mr. Balaclava, he sort of covers his face a bit, Phil Cleary, but that's only because he played with Balaclava.
Another move. Eddie Graham looks to be ruck roving. And a half-forward flank. I'd say McGlashan's gone on the centre to tighten up on Spina a little bit. Spina, who, speaking of Spina, he goes to centre half forward. Scotty Orman perhaps infringes, and he does. Greg Forrest will clear from centre half back.
I'd say that would almost be his third foul for the game. He'd be exactly. The umpire would be, rather his coach would be a bit disturbed that 2 more fouls would be off the game. Anyway, in the meantime, Phil Cleary chips it over to Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget looks in long, finds looking for Penny. Penny's not there, but Lubbs is. Lubbs chases the ball out of bounds there. It's good to see that he's got a few extra ribs there today with him, Lubbs. It should come in handy if they run out of legs in the last quarter. They'll be able to switch the ribs down. As the boundary umpire throws the ball in, Sully to ruck. Sully's a big solid boy. He won't be knocked out easily, but Norwood District's Hector will run away with the ball. Martin Borman. He's a Nazi war criminal. Darren Orman, not Martin Borman. And the Norwood District Hector player, he runs away. Clark, the man with the swimming pools, to the man with the chocolate. Geez, they own a lot of businesses, these Norwood District Hectorville boys. Smothered beautifully off the boot. Scotty Orman goes in hard, but the umpire calls that holding the ball.
Yeah, Hectorville certainly stuffed that up a little bit. Dave McGlashan will relieve. It goes wide to Bobby Draper. Plays on. We'll look for Cleary. No, goes inside. Umpire calls play on, cop one high, and eventually finds David Conroy, who's starting to come into the game. Probably the best player in the ground in last year's grand final. Conroy goes to half forward, looking for Woody. Mark Downey's the experienced Mark Downey. Darrington in over the ball for North Districts. Fed out to Eddie Graham. Could create some magic here. He's a fantastic footballer. Woody looks for Braddles. Can't quite reach him. Braddles perhaps the give. Does give to his coach Peter Window. Wide, he's on wide. Doesn't look for him. Goes long to Downey. Good defence, Darren Orman. The rumour is that Braddles has been giving it to Pete Window all year, in fact, and that's why he's been playing so well. In the meantime, the ball's gone out of bounds on the half-forward flank for Walkerville. Boundary umpire to throw it in there. He's a very brave young lad, this boundary umpire, I think. Eddie Graham's build-up to a game is very interesting. Perhaps something that all youngsters should abide by. 6 or 7 beers, 6 or 7 cones, and you really do relax. And Eddie Graham is really getting plenty of important touches for Walkerville today, Nick. Absolutely. But he always does, though, Brent. He's really good value from wherever you play him. He's always going to do something with the ball. So the ball comes out there. Lee Manuzzo tackles the Norwood District Hectorville player, but they still get the ball into the forward line. Scotty Orman, he couldn't quite get there on time. He's Brett Felice's comment there. He's a fucking idiot. But the problem is he wasn't on the 3-point line. You can't say that on television.
And this is a family show. We're back in the pocket. Norwood District's well blocked off the hand, but Norwood District Hectorville recover well. He's gone for the centering kick. David Mudge is there. Strong hands as always. He looks to play on. There could be a. He did too. There could be a 50 there. And as I called with some jest, there's a 50-metre penalty. That's going to bring him almost to the centre. David Mudge could have a chance to score from here. He's a hell of a kick, but he sees Lee Manuzzo on the wing. That's a good option there. Lee Manuzzo had to sort of think, who's he got there in the centre? It's good work. It's Woody in the centre. Oh, Woody's playing. My God, he used to play when I was boundary up.
Good to see that you're right up on who's who and who's not. Oh, Lubbs! Spare rib and all. He's kicked the goal. That'll go down in the budget. Steve Lubke and his spare rib have kicked another goal. Magnificent effort. He's read that ball superbly. A good handball too.
Steve Lubke, the 44-year-old rover, in his last game for Walkerville Football Club. Got the handball from Mark Downey, 44 and 34. What's that, 78 years between them, 78 birthdays between them. A lot of experience, and perhaps that's a telling factor at the moment. Walkerville 10-7-67. Lead Hectorville 6-9-45. Umpire back in the centre. Throws it up.
63 points.
He has thrown it up well today. Scotty Allman gets a run on the ball. Perhaps the Walkerville player in fringe. Umpire didn't see it that way. That's Morris Caputo trying to work hard for the Hectorville Wars. Somehow finds Spina out the back. Spina goes long. But Nobby perhaps got him fringe. Umpire didn't see it that way. Greg Forrest to mop up. Clark in hard. Gee, if he can kick this goal, it's a lifter. It'll lift them. He did. Great work by Clark from Hectorville. That might lift Norwood Districts. They needed a bit of a lift. Coca-Cola scoreboard sees Walkerville 10-7-67. Still in control. Hectorville 7-9-51. 16-point margin, Nick.
It's interesting to see there that Clark, the man who owns all the rubber goods, managed to get Norwood Districts to bounce back there. I think that's pretty useful in the circumstances. Anyway, as you said, what's the score there? Steve Vizard. 10-7-7-9. There's 3 goals to 16 points the difference, I think, at this point. And the boundary umpire throws...
was commentating, mate.
Thanks for that, show. When are you going back to Melbourne, mate?
Well, straight after the game, and here's the throw up.
Steve Window, Ruck Road with Eddie Graham, Mac in the centre.
Oh, there's been a big change. Mac has gone straight to the centre. Well called, Brett Felice. Steve Window straight out of the centre anyway. We'll get back to the changes in just a minute. The excitement is just... Now it's gone out of bounds. We've picked up a change. Mac has gone in the middle. We've got Eddie Graham and Steve Window changing on the ball. Important move. Macca has the final experience, and the ability to change a game there from the centre. Eddie Graham's got to get into it a little bit more. He's got to work a little bit harder, but he's magical. When he gets that ball, it's very, very good football to watch. But we're out here on the wing. It's good dodging and weaving by the player from Hectorville, but he's sort of seen the outside of the line, and so did the umpire, and so there'll be a throw-in on the far wing. We look at the scoreboard. It's 10 goals 7 to Walkerville versus Hectorville 7-9. So it's a very interesting part of the game. Very even indeed. Anything can happen in the rest of this grand final. Over you, Brett.
Have a look at the crowd. Perhaps a disappointing crowd. Maybe 400 or 500 here for this replay of last year's grand final, I guess you could say. Walkerville once again in control. Steph Window feeds to Adam White. Goes short, Mark Downey can't quite make it. Downey, good body work. Perhaps it's Eddie Graham. Eddie Graham to Craig Bradbrook. So let's see what Battles can do. Unfortunately, looks like he's missed. Spare ribs, fumble. Still in control. Feeds to Adam White, who... What's the umpire called? Umpire's called a one behind. Walkerville 10-8-68. North District 7-9-51. Lee Darrington to relieve for Hectorville from full-back. Walkerville manning up fairly well. Can't see any decisive moves. Darrington from full-back. Perhaps kicking into a slight breeze. Comes wide, grandstand side, looking for the ruckman, but Darren Allman has half-time. The siren sounds for half-time. Walkerville at 10-8-68, 17-point leaders over Hectorville 7-9-51.
Yes, that was quite a good half of football from Walkerville. They recovered from what could have been a bit of a roll from Hectorville Norwood Districts there. They managed to regroup quite well, and I think come the second half it'll be quite a good game. We've been down to the rooms at the half-time break. Norwood Districts, Hectorville weren't prepared to let anyone into the rooms. The coach was, from what we heard, was pretty angry with the way they'd played. Yelling a bit, screaming a bit, saying, Scotty Allman, stop playing basketball, you're here to play football now, get serious, and things of that nature. I think he's not going to make too many changes, except maybe he's tried to get some of the players to put the braces on the other leg. And what happened in the Walkerville rooms, Brent Felice?
Been down to the Walkerville rooms once again, not really allowed in, did a bit of eavesdropping, ears to the wall. Mark Williams appears to have a slight concussion. Charlie Polito to remain on the interchange bench. No real moves in that second quarter. This is the premiership quarter down at Brighton Oval. Walkerville 10-8, 68 lead. Hectorville 7-9, 51. This is the premiership quarter. Both these sides playing for the A5 premiership. Umpire raises the shern to start the third quarter. Phil Cleary still in ruck. So far probably a winner. Big man fly. Cleary once again gets his hand to it. Eddie Graham. Deft touch out of the middle. Looking for Craig Bradbrook. Ideal Bradbrook. Peter Window chips in. Half forward flank. Goes to full forward. Downey one-on-one. Likes those situations. Not this time. Hectorville's ruckman back in defence. Has done that pretty well. Eddie Graham. Shepherd off the ball. Hectorville clear. Not really clear. Half forward flank. That ball will probably go out. Craig Bradbrook sees the ball out of bounds. 1 minute into this important third quarter. Hectorville 7-9, 51 trail. Walkerville 10-8, 68.
The world's bravest boundary umpire throws the ball in again. Sully wins it well with body. Eddie Graham, quick hands, straight to the Norwood Districts Hectorville player. Pete Window, a great bump. But Norwood Districts still clears the bounds. Got rid of Shaw, he did. Mason, Bobby Draper, Mason, Greg Forrest, Norwood Districts Hectorville. I think he's been watching the Dave Mudge school of kicking the ball, but that's okay. Scotty Orman dives on the ball, gets a quick ball out. He travelled. Sure, the umpire saw the travel. He called it a hold in the ball. That'll do. Mack has done well. Handballs on quickly to Lee Manuzzo. Lee Manuzzo on his favoured left foot, which is just as well because he hasn't got a right foot. The Norwood Districts player did well to get the ball out of bounds there.
Introduce premiership player. It was his first premiership today and played pretty well in the middle with Jamie Williams.
Since when's he been smoking?
Yes, I was a Virgin Grand Finalist until today, but I suppose you could now say that I've been intruded. Sully does the ruck work on the flank. Ball knocked out to Eddie the Eagle, and somehow the umpires picked something out there. He's picked a free to Norwood Districts, who'll take it on the half-back line for themselves. Kicks toward the wing. Whitey up, knocks it toward the boundary. Scotty Ormer takes out. Lubbs effects the tackle and knocks it out of bounds. There'll be a ball in right in front of us here on the wing. Down here at Brighton where Lubbs started his football. And the boundary umpire throws in. Pidge to do the ruck works. Done well so far. Gets a great knock to Lee. But it's too high and the free will go back to Pidge. Brent?
Phil Cleary. Important free. Whole proceedings up. 3 minutes in this third quarter. Cleary, centre wing. Good looking kick, looking for Jamie Sullivan. Perhaps hasn't been easily outbodied that time by Merchant. Hectorville's ruckman dropping back. Merchant, deft tap to Clark. Clark picks up, half back flank, goes in a little spinner a couple of yards on Eddie. Eddie does well. Great work, Eddie Graham. And if he gets a run here, he'll goal this. He does get a run. He finds Craig Bradbrook. Great work, Eddie Graham. Great peripheral vision.
Absolutely. I think he and Mac will both be on ads for OPSM in the next few weeks because they've managed to see something that's almost not there. Norwood District's Hectorville player marks the ball, runs up to it, runs over it in fact. Bradbrook lays into that. That's a great kick. That's straight through. It's a fucking important kick. He's really done well there. And the Walkerville players run towards him to congratulate him, and rightly so as Walkerville pulls further ahead. That's 23 points the difference currently, I think, and Pete Window would have to be happy with that.
My mate Eddie Graham in the middle once again. Value for possessions, that man. Value for possessions. He's only 20 years old, not like Rowdy Sherrin. He said to me at the start of the year, gee, Eddie'd only have 1 or 2 years left in him. Rowdy thought he was 31 years old. Eddie Graham is only 20, Rowdy, I can assure you of that. Walkerville 11-8, 70. Rowdy's about 31, I'd say, Goody. Walkerville 11-8, 27, I'd say. The ball thrown back. Cleary perhaps nullified that time. Spinner out of the middle to Zanka, looking for Orman. Leaves it well for this unnamed mystery man, mystery showbag, number 1. Where have they pulled this bloke out from?
I'll go and find a name for it.
Nick good enough to go and find a name for number 1. Anyways, 30 metres out. Nobby Obbs on the mark. Important kick and perhaps has got it. I'd say snuck it in. Hectorville 8-9, 57. Really needed that one. Still Walkerville was 17 points, 11-8, 74.
He's got a nice haircut, that guy. It's one with a hole in it. Have to run around in the showers to get his hair wet, I think. But anyway, the ball's being relayed back to the centre. Brent Felice has just been commenting on some of the trainers' backsides, and I would probably have to agree with him. Ball goes up. Pidge to do the ruck work, doesn't get the knock, the ball nullified. Macca working hard in there, gets tackled, and the umpire's called a hold in the ball out of there. Thought thought Macca actually lost that one, but still. Anyway, Zanker kicks the ball into in 3-point range. Norwood District's up. Dave Conroy gets the ball out. Bad bounce from Mudgee. Someone just sat on his face. Drape's working hard. Dave Conroy again. Yeah, correct, it wasn't Angie. But I don't know what's going on here. The umpire's pulled something out of the rear end, and Dave Conroy's going to have a kick. Dave Conroy on the half-back line for Walkerville will kick the ball long toward the half-forward line, looking for Jamie Sullivan. But someone's just taken a hanger. Merchant's taken a hanger. No, Darren. Oh, you wouldn't know. Plays on, kicks toward the centre line. Bobby Draper coming through, can't get the handle. Handballs on to Guido, the killer pimp. Norwood District's kick long into the forward lines. Farrell backing back and takes the mark. Not good enough.
And Jamie, we've just discovered that number 1 for Norwood Districts is a very famous name from the American Civil War, a Mr. Cornelius. Very famous name. He's also one of the apes on Planet of the Apes, but we're not sure if there's any relation between the two. Anyway, Mr. Chocolates lines up here for a shot at goal. Farrell Lee. He's had quite a few shots for goals today, and you'd probably back him from here. He's into a slight breeze, kicks the ball on the boot, it's going left, but it's come through, and they're coming back, Hectorville Norwood Districts. It's only a couple of goals of difference now. And what do you see the game is progressing from here, Brent Felice?
Hectorville, a couple of important touches out of the middle. And perhaps just travelling slightly the better at the moment. 9-9-63, still trailing Walkerville 11-8-74. That breeze a little bit swirly and whirly, whatever you'd say. Not really favouring any particular end, perhaps slightly to Hectorville's end. Umpire throws the ball up again. Let's see who wins it this time. Perhaps Hectorville first hands on it. Ball out in the middle. Hectorville once again cleared out of the middle. 3 times in a row and finds...
On the basketball.
Scott Orman, 45 metres out. Probably couldn't kick it from there. I don't know if that option... No, Cornelius? No, can't hold it. Mason, left footer. Smothered by Macca. Good work. In the middle, Farrell. Umpire. Plays it on. Mason. Clark. Goal. Hectorville within 5 points. 10-9-69. Trial Walker 11-8-74. Coach Peter Window, don't panic. They're just travelling a little bit better at the moment, Hectorville, but I think Walker, if they keep their feet on the ground, Sanity will roll in the long run, and the Cats, man on man, perhaps individually better on this side.
Yes, Brent, they've won the ball out of the centre the last 5 minutes or so. I think that's the key to the game. We've got to start winning it out of the centre again. We've got enough good players in there at the moment. Eddie's been moved to Ruck Roving. I think he's been taken out of the centre. Macca in the centre with Whitey and Steph. This is a very crucial ball up. The start of the third quarter is always important. Ball goes up, Pidge to do the ruck work, knocks it back. Lubbs comes in and takes the ball, handballs off to Drapes, who kicks long towards centre half forward. Merchant takes the ball, runs on. Sully does well to trap the ball, still working hard but can't get it. Shaw takes the ball and runs toward their half forward line. Macca's got to do some work here. Does well, puts pressure on, still chasing. But Norwood Districts now have room. They run through the wing toward the half forward line. He almost ran too far then. Kicks in long. And Farrell's taken a mark in the pocket.
We'll go to special comments for Nick Goodenough in a minute. Simon Farrell to put Hectorville in front, or a chance to put Hectorville in front. He's marked 25 metres out on a 45-degree angle. This will put Hectorville 1 point up and perhaps give the side an overall lift. They certainly have lifted out of the middle. Farrell deliberate in his approach. 25 metres out, David Mudge on the mark, doing everything he possibly can. Farrell steers it through. Hectorville in front, and perhaps a new complexion on this ball game.
I think Dave Mudge in defence should be aware there that Farrell Lee's got a bit of a soft centre, and if he goes for that part of him, he should be alright. He should be able to be a bit more defensive. But I think Walkerville probably can come back from here. They've shown it all year that they can come back from these difficult positions. There's still plenty of time left in this third quarter, and another quarter to go afterwards. We wait for the boundary umpire to clear the square. Lubbs, spare ribs, moves up to a spot on the wing. Number 8 right on him. Ball thrown in the air. It's a good throw up again, nice and perpendicular. Steph Window couldn't quite control Whitey to back to Steph Window. Steph Window jams onto the boot, down in front. But Norwood, oh, that's lucky play. That's lucky play. He looks for options up forward. Kicks long. Holds up a bit in the breeze. Macca in front. Phil Cleary comes in. That's a good mark. Good mark. He didn't have a balaclava over his head that time. He could see the ball. It's good to see. Number 13. Lucky 13. He finds Pete Windows. Pete Windows got a paddock. He's going to run on. Kicks long. Finds Whitey. Whitey holds. I think Whitey should kick this from here. I think he's well backed. What do you think, Jamie Williams?
I think Whitey's probably one of the spunkiest guys in the team. He's gorgeous, Whitey. I've always loved him, and in fact, if he kicks this, I might make it with him tonight, Brent.
Adam White, good friend, 25 metres. That won't be a friend if he misses this, but gets it. Walkerville, 12.880. Regain the lead, 11.975, Hickeys.
You know I would have anyway, Whitey, but still, it was a good kick. Puts Walkerville back in the lead by 5 points, and we're back to Brent, the good friend of Whitey.
I'm a good friend of Adam White. Walkerville 12.880. As Jamie Williams said, back in front, lead Hectorville 11.975. Played 15 minutes in this third term, commonly termed the Premiership quarter.
Also known as the third.
Also known as the third quarter, that's right.
Also known 6/8 of the game.
6/8 of the game. They're coming from all angles. 12-16. Ball back in the middle. Dave McGlashan, Steph Window, over to Macca. Oh, Orman. Plenty of rough treatment there.
I think Macca got a bit of a dry root in there then.
Yeah, he may have. Darren Orman. What's more important, Jamie, the footy or the comments? The footy. Darren Orman. Goes long looking for Caputo. But Andrew Gunner's done a pretty good job on that. Morris Caputo clears. Hectorville. Regain on the halfback flank.
Got the bounce of Scotty Orman.
Scotty Orman looking for Spina. New man on the ground. Played in the fullback in the first quarter. Lee Manuzzo. Straight through. That's the way you play your footy, Lee Manuzzo. Left footer looking for Jamie Sullivan. Please, Sully, get into it. Darrington risking his arm. Might work, might not work. Mark Downey in plenty of trouble there, and unfortunately, oh, Scotty Orman. Maybe Downey's thrown one there. Didn't see that one, Nick. There's about 4 or 5 of him. Sully, help him.
Yeah, it was good to see that, Brent, that was 6 Hectorville North Districts players onto the 1 Walkerville player. And the 50-metre penalty as well. We're not sure what that was for exactly, but the umpire's obviously seen some infringement behind the play. He's decided to take the ball up there. Steph Window stand the mark. He's got a fair leap on him, Steph Window, when he tries. Just like then. Goes for Macca. Macca paid Nobby, read to it superbly. Finds Pete Window, bounces the ball off his chest. He's going to get caught. Pete Window never gets caught. Holy the man, he paid for the free kick, but that's okay. Nobby backed him up. Sully is Pete Window again, and he's taking the ball out. Well done, Pete Window, on the halfback flank there. It's going to be a free kick. Oh dear, oh dear. We're not entirely sure what that was for, but I think Pete Window offered the Norwood Districts player the opportunity to feel his leg, and he was taken up on it.
Probably next 5 minutes, a lot of pressure on Peter Window. Let's see Hectorville chant, Walkers or Wankers. That's an interesting chant. Anyway, Hectorville free kick, halfback flank to setting. Scotty Orman just dives on the ball. Enough, there's a lot of sense in it. Anyway, Spina feeds to Black, in a lot of trouble. Manages to get a kick out, but 15 metres only, straight to Andrew Gunn. Marks in a halfback front. Gunn to transfer it back into the centre of this lovely Brighton Oval. Hectorville's ruckman, I reckon, perhaps has shaded Cleary around the ground. Cleary certainly on top of centre bounces. Goes wide to Cornelius. Mystery man, Cornelius. Planet of the Apes player. Goes wide to Simon Farrell. Perhaps got a little bit of treatment from David Mudge. Umpire says that's okay and throw it in. Brighton Oval club rooms in the background. Boundary umpire retrieves his own footy. That's an interesting one. As he throws the ball in. Mason and Cleary. Cleary to White. White back in the centre. Hectorville's ruckman again. He's done a good job. He really has done a good job around the ground. Dropping back, nullifying Walkerville's attacks. He goes to centre forward. Perhaps looking for Farrell Caputo. Oh, Caputo just shoved in the middle of the back. Perhaps play for a little bit. But anyway, he'll get the ball 30 metres out. Morris Caputo, a good player in last week's preliminary final, but certainly been beaten by Andrew Gunn today.
I think there was a fair little dive in there too, Brent.
Seen the play for it. He's wearing number 28. He might be 28 years old. Perhaps he showed a little bit of experience there. This to put Hectorville back in front, trailing so far by 5 points.
The important thing to realise there is that 28 is of course 4 times 7, and 7 is a lucky number, so he's 4 times a very lucky player. Yeah. Except he can't kick.
I'll tell you what, I don't know if that was Miles Caputo or David Brewer. That was a shocking kick. Anyway, Hectorville somehow managed something out of nothing. Caputo, an ordinary kick into attack. Forrest played on. Hectorville took the ball away and snapped a goal from the pocket to put themselves back in front. Hectorville 12-9-81. Lead Walkerville 12-8-80. Peter Window, I don't know if he's calling Andrew Harvey out. I'd say time for the introduction of Charles Hitman Polito. It's perhaps put a different complex on this game. He's a very good player, Greek Cannon, Charlie Polito. Perhaps that's because the ground smells like Euros.
I think probably they'd want to get Charlie Polito on there to try to take Guido out of the game, because they know how each other play. They've both worked in the Mafia for many years before. The only problem, the only worry is that Polito won't be able to see what's actually happening on the ground because of his haircut. Farrell again, but that's good play. Oh no! Umpire. Dave Mudge, unlucky there, I think.
Hectorville, once again, I reckon there's been 6 centre breaks in this quarter and 5 of them have gone to Hectorville. And that's the size. You win the ball out of centre, generally you win the footy game. Simon Farrell 35 metres out. You could perhaps say directly in front. Hectorville lead by a point. This will be Simon Farrell's 6th goal. Good effort from the centre forward. He's a very good player. Deliberate in his approach. Important kick. Ball on the way. Looks pretty good from here. No, missed it. 2 points up. Heckies 12-10-82. Lee Walkerville 12-8-80.
It's a good grab by that spectator behind the goals then, but Moji gives the ball back to, who's going to kick out? Drapes, Bobby Draper down on the back line. Kicks out toward Inspector Gadget, who takes yet another top mark. Dave has taken a hell of a lot of marks today. He wants to be a little bit careful there that this peanut doesn't reverse it. Kicks the ball toward the wing. Bit of a punch on here with Whitey, and Pidge takes the ball out of bounds. There's a little bit of, there's nothing like a bit of slap and tickle. Zanker's in there, he's going to rate Whitey.
Nothing in that. Whitey just doesn't like number 1's deodorant. Whitey often wears Brute. Cornelius preferring Old Spice today. Oh gee, that was a soft free kick. Those 50-50 frees really, umpires should let the ball go in a grand final, Jamie Williams.
That's why they're umpires, mate, because they got no idea how to play the game.
Well, I won't say anything to that. Perhaps oh, geez, Caputo. He got up there. He hasn't done I reckon he's in trouble with his shoulder. He hasn't moved. Gee, I don't know if he's absolutely fit or not, but he's in a bit of trouble. He did come down the bad way. It was certainly a sensational game. He'll certainly take no further part in the game. Epileptic fit. Looks like an epileptic fit. That's, oh, they're calling for a stretcher. That's a sad indictment on the game. Ian Harper doesn't seem concerned. Andrew Harvey and Peter Window talking tactics. Tremendous grab. Unless he swallowed his mouth guard, he could well have swallowed his tongue. A sensational grab. Well caught by our cameraman Rob Chapman. Adam White just having a word to Cornelius. Hold to play here. Jamie, any moves that perhaps you could see? Charlie Polito, I know, now warming up. Reluctantly, I don't know if Charlie's attitude's all there. It would be hard to come on into a grand final halfway through the third quarter. Let's hope this bloke is all right. Fantastic mark. They're taking one of those. What do you call those? What do you call those stretches, Jamie?
Frames.
Yeah, Jordan frames, I think, aren't they?
Jordan frames. Stephen Lubke off the ground. I thought he worked hard for his 6 touches.
Oh, big stage.
But I think it's fair to say that Lub's spare rib had a bit to do with that there. And Charlie Polito's come onto the ground. Hopefully he'll be able to see where he's going there. I think he's had a bit of a haircut since the last game. It's still a bit difficult to see, but
It's a very important stage when the game stops like this. The next 5 or so minutes, if it doesn't become 3/4 time before long, next 5 or so minutes is very important.
The umpires are pretty happy about this. Probably the only people who are happy, getting a bit of a breather. How have you seen the umpiring today, Dave Sheridan?
I think it's been quite a good display. Looking at it from an outsider coming through, it's been a hard, tough game of footy, and it's final, so that's expected. But let's get back to the game. We're commentating for Walkerville, and they've got a bit of work to do if they want to get ahead. The opportunity was there. This could either do two things. He could spur Hectorville on, or it could pull them into submission. Now, he's a good player he's got, so let's see what happens.
How much is that fire in the belly, that ammunition from losing last year's grand final, how much can that lift Hectorville in these last 35, 40 minutes of this football game?
Well, Brett, it could be the deciding factor, and Walkerville got to counter that. They've got to conjure that from somewhere. They too have to feel the fire in the belly, and gee, we're in for a good game. How about you, Jamie?
Conjure played a couple of B-grade games earlier this year, but he's left the club.
Well, thank you for your contrafibularities. It's a bit of a hush has fallen over the crowd. It was a carnival atmosphere up till now. It's kind of taken on a term of mourning, but this guy has got to come off, and several things should happen. What is great is the spirit shown between both clubs, and that the Walkerville people are showing the fact that they appreciate the effort this guy put in, and that's good for football. And
will Morris Caputo take any further part in the game, Shark?
I think not. We'll go down to the rooms at three-quarter time. We'll get an update on his position, but no. And hey, let's watch the next 5 minutes. This could be the turning point. Let's watch.
Cornelius 50 metres out, has the ball. Geez, a terrible kick. Oh, luck's of fortune. Beaton's walk, stay on the ground, and the ball has hit he's hit his chest. Shocking kick from Cornelius.
Is that the turning point?
Well, a lot of luck in football. Bounce of the ball sometimes crucial, Jamie Williams.
No, that's the guy that came on, Cheryl. It's not the turning point, although I'm not that sure of his name.
Number 20.
His name is Andrew Beaton, and he's 20 metres out, wearing number 20. He steered that through. A fairy tale start for Beaton. Be on the ground 20 seconds, has gold. Could that change the ball game, Nick Goodenough?
Well, I think it could, Brent, but Walkerville's a good side. They'll bounce back from that. Sherrow's saying that I've been hogging the microphone, so in order to go against that, Sherrow, take the bloody microphone.
Jamie, what do you think?
Yeah, I do like having my tummy rubbed, but anyway, the ball's now back into the centre. Mark Polsky's just offered to rub my tummy tonight, and I've taken him up on it. The ball's going to go up, as it always does, and then back down. Pedge does the ruck work, the ball comes out, North Districts with a bit of a run on. We've got to stem this run on, kicks it out toward the wing. Charlie to get his first touch. Bad bounce, Macca knocks it on. Nobby puts the tackle in, Woody gets dry rooted and must get the free. Nice little throwback too there from Peanut 21. Woody taking the ball on the wing, kicks the ball towards centre half forward Mark Downey. Let's take a grab, Mark. Can't do it. Charlie knocks on well. Spoils. North Districts run the ball out again toward the centre line. They have it in the centre. Guido tackled. Still has the ball though. Ducks back into the centre. Good work. Handball's off. Very good handball too. Adam White must stem this. Very good tackle. North District still taking the ball. We seem to be running around a bit lost at the moment. And a good kick out toward the wing. And now toward the half-forward line. North Districts take the ball on the half-forward line, right on the 50-metre mark.
Pick up number 1. Well run.
Brent, please.
Black 50 metres out, looking for Farrell. Important grab, gets up. Geez, ball rebounds, gets his own crumbs. Sockers in on the goal square. Mason, unlucky. That's the bounce. That's what we're talking about, the bounce the ball sometimes decisive in football.
If he wasn't as big and fat and stupid as that, I think he probably would have got that. If he'd been as athletic as Pete Window's about to kick it in, I think he'd probably manage it. Pete Window kicks in short, dangerous kick, but Woody's good enough to manage that. Takes a good mark in the half-back flank there for Walkerville.
It appears the momentum has sort of turned very much towards Hectorville's way. Walkerville got to stem this, and it's Pedge in the centre has the opportunity to do it as he looks for players downfield. He goes with the right boot. He's got Lee Manazzo wide. Lee Manazzo gets the bounce of the ball. Uses it well, ducks his head, but he dodges, weaves, gets around several players, and it's good effort by Lee Manazzo. Steve Window's underneath the ball. The ball's off hands. It's got to be play on. It's the Hectorville player with the ball. He looks to the centre. Scotty Allman. He's got number 10 on the wing. He's only got Whitey to beat. to the centre half forward it goes. It's Greg Forrest, ever reliable. He's out there. 201st game. What a day it is for Greg Forrest. He's got Peter Window out there, and he's looked long. It's a great pass. It's important. We really got to pick up in the forward line. Downey's got to get this in the square. There's got to be options because it's not looking like a can of worms to me.
That being a 40-metre line, Mark Downey about 45 metres out, well within kicking distance. If we need a lift from this fella, so right now, an important kick coming up. Downey for, geez, it looks like a floater. Polito or Bradbrook from nowhere. They've picked out a free kick to Walkerville. It could be Sullivan, I think. No, Steph Window.
Important kick.
Very important kick.
Is that Steph Window or is it Cornelius in a Walkerville jumper?
No, it is Steph Window.
Cornelius is from the front of the 8. He plays for the other team.
Stephen Window, coach of his second B-Go premiership earlier today, steers that one through, an important goal. Walkerville 13-8-86, still trail Hectorville 13-11-89, and perhaps that might just stem Hectorville's run for a while, Shiro.
Well, we've got a few minutes before three-quarter time. This is the grand final winning quarter. It's been written in many books. I think Hectorville have made their charge. They've made their charge. They've had a man go down. They've put up the best ever they can. It's got to be, the last quarter will be all about superior fitness and desire to win the ball. It's a great contest. It's what football's all about. It's a carnival atmosphere here, and what more could you want? The ball's up. Go Walkerville. The crowd's going absolutely burlesque. There's the handball in the middle, but Hectorville will not give up. A good forward movement, and Mudgie's moved back, but well scouted, and that was very good football. I'm looking at it pretty objectively.
Well scouted by Clark on that occasion, unlucky. Good pressure though by the Cats. That behind puts Hectorville up by 4 points. Bobby Draper short to Eddie Graham. Needs to perhaps pick up his tempo a little bit, Eddie. To Lima Nuzzo. In front is Shaw. Is it Shaw out there? Somehow, no, umpire says my ball. Bit of a lull in the crowd. Walkerville by 4 points. Ball thrown up. Important next few minutes. Quarter probably be a lot of time on due to that unfortunate injury to Caputo. Ball back to Hectorville's full forward line, centre half forward line. Somehow Beaton gets the crumbs. Draper in front. Blast in the middle. Important contest. White in front. Over the back, play on, good call from the ump. In danger, perhaps to White, no. Oh, down and through. Steph Window, what can he do with this? Finds his brother Peter. Peter goes inside. Oh, I don't know if he should have ducked back again. Sully, this time, mate. No. Astray, Walkerville 13-9-87. Trail, Hectorville 13-12-90. Commentators tense, crowd tense, players probably tense. How would they feel, Dave Sheridan?
Probably feel like they're inside a tent. But Pidge with the knockout. Charlie Polito's just fresh on the ground, his first forward thrust. It's a poor kick, it's marked by Hectorville. Eddie Graham's in front of the race here. He's mercurial. Rover runs the ball. Bit of bad luck, but he'll catch up. Dave McGlashan hard in chase. Hectorville with the forward thrust again. Foul's well covered. It's Dave Conroy back there. It's good hands, good work. Greg Forrest will work it out wide to Gunny. Gunny on the right hand side. Let's see if you're facing this end of the camera. Passes it wide. It's gone down the wing. Pitch thought he'd take a ride, but the Hectorville players thought he'd play on. It's gone quick into the forward line again. David Mudge again. It was very good defence. The umpire hasn't seen it that way. He's seen it as a clip behind the collar. But it's Farrell again. He's been a bit of a thorn in Walkerville's side today. What are your comments, Jamie?
It's interesting to see Pidge there again. I guess if you see a face, you've got to sit on it, don't you? He's done a bit of that today, but Farrell will have a shot from right on the 50-metre mark.
40-metre line, Jamie.
40-metre line, is it? Oh, cut it out. No need to dazzle me with numbers. Will's warming up down there. I don't know what he did earlier. Farrell to kick.
Off, Jamie.
Oh, he went off. Into the forward lines, and Gunny goes up.
Yeah, he got pulled off.
And the ball in a scramble there, and the umpire will toss.
Ball bounce down.
Oh, I think I better hand over.
Yeah. Ball thrown up. Hectorville out of nowhere. Oh, is that? No, Clark. It was Clark. I thought it was Beaton for a minute. On his own ruck work, Clark puts Hectorville 9 points up as a young lady walks past here with very. Did you catch those memory glands? 14-12-96. Becky's Walkerville 13-9-87, 9 point margin, Dave Sheridan.
In the last 10 minutes, it's been Clark from Hectorville that's made the difference. He rode the ball off the pack in the last play, kicked the goal, then he did it again. So Walkerville perhaps have to look to that. He's playing very well. The ball bounced down. We can't get out of the ball, can't get out of the centre. David McGlashan again working hard. And the stacks on the mill. It's come very tense. Walkerville perhaps lose a bit of grip on this game. There's no win, there's no additional assistance comes out of the heart now, so let's see what can happen from here. Who is the superior side on the day? It's Pedge up for the ball. Good knocker, Eddie Graham with a quick kick out of the centre. It's Lee Manuzzo, he plays on quickly. Well shepherded by Charlie Polito. Looks forward. Whitey was there. But it was marked Woody, was it? Beg your pardon. Woody was there, and he marked very well on the wing. Over the back was Gunny, going hard. Perhaps needs a bit more strength down their wing. Lee Manuzzo dodges weeds very well. Looks to the centre, got Eddie Graham there. He's comfortable. He's looking for options up forward. Sees Steve Window, who's lurking. But it's Whitey, well read, very well read indeed. Dodges weeds, balks, bounces onto the left boot, puts it in long. What's going to happen? Jamie Sullivan's there. What's the result? It's punched away well. Woody's there, and they'll snap on the left boot. It's a goal. Walkerville are back within 3 points.
Great coming, Graham Wood. Opportunist goal. Walkerville 14-9, 93. Hectorville 14-12, 96.
Adam White did very well to keep his head there. Then he could have quite easily bombed it in, but he picked the right opportunity to do it. Touched the ball on the ground, so he didn't hang on to it for too long. Got it in, and Woody was in the perfect spot. That's an absolute Rovers goal.
Adam White likes playing the grandstand wing. Ball back in the centre. Eddie Graham. The Cats perhaps needed a slight lift from the Black Magician. Polito in here. Polito and Graham. There's some names for you. Cleary. Perhaps won it. Got his hand to it. No clear to side. Now Speeder steams out of the centre. What can he do? Farrell one-on-one. You back him, wouldn't you? Great work, Marge. Forrest mopping up. Oh, he's in trouble. Perhaps high. Yeah, it is high. I thought the up was going to ping him there for a sec.
If that was any higher, he would have missed him.
He's got Andrew Gunn running for him. Gunny plays on. Oh, well tackled. Good pressure. Fortuitously finds Manuzzo. Half-back flank for Walkerville. Sends it to half-forward Downey. One-on-one with Darrington. Darrington punches away. Polito. Handball to himself. Daisy cutter trying to find Sullivan. Merchant battling hard his opponent. Steve Window perhaps got a slight nudge in the back. Umpire says I'll have it. Good to let the game go on the final day, Sharon.
What do you think, Nick?
Absolutely, Sherry.
Thank you for that. Well, it's pretty tense. We're getting pretty close to three-quarter time. There's been a lot of drama. There's been a severe injury, which is a concern to all the commentators here. But Hectorville just will not give up. They just keep trying. And Walkerville got to get away, because if they can't, they're going to work very hard in the last quarter. The ball's loose. Dave Conroy's back there. Beg your pardon, there was Nobby Obbs. Nobby Obbs moving long. They got Whitey here. It's play on. That was a great effort. Good contest, but play on. Good handball. McGlashan. Bad luck. Poor bounce. Uses the ball well. Sees Conroy coming through. There's a bit of time for Conroy. He gets the look. Looks ahead. He's got Polito. He's got Braddles looking down there. Polito again. Works hard. Onto the right boot. Works back into the centre, but he finds a Hectorville player.
They seem to have been looking for number 5 all day, actually, Walkerville. They'll have to try and kick over him or around him or something, try and do something to break up the pattern of play. Umpires awarded that for infringement, I think. What's the umpire going to do? It's not 50, is it?
Number 19 for Hectorville. Started a fullback, got beaten, taken off the ground, been brought back by Coach Peter Butters as a ruck rover, and has been instrumental along with Spina, Clark, Allman and Zanka, their runners, in getting Hectorville back in this game. He's got a 50-metre penalty. He's kicked into the goal square. Only pitches there. Sure, that's going to be a free kick. Calls it well. Very exciting grand final. A great grand final between two highly talented sides. Walkerville by 3 points. Entering time on the third quarter. Pidge risky to fight. Was that Greg Forrest? I thought he got infringed. Umpire didn't see it that way. Blacking over it. Hectorville desperate. Fire in the belly, as we made mention earlier.
201 games there, Brett. 201 games for Greg Forrest.
201 games of experience. Could hold him in good stead come the last term.
He doesn't look at
Draper. Blast into the middle. Oh, Hectorville. Oh, plays on. Terrible mistake. Could be a turning point, those little things.
Could be the turning point in the game. Eddie Graham in the race for the ball. Clever kick. As under pressure, it's gone out of bounds on the fall.
Eddie Graham, a smile on his face, great sportsman, doesn't make many mistakes. Admittedly, he made one there, but everybody makes a mistake, sure from centre wing.
Even the champion. The ball's in long. Farrell's there again. Walkerville there at numbers. The ball's out. It's Peter Window, the super coach. The ball goes loose. Hectorville with the ball, under pressure, and it's getting called high. Clark's a little bloke, so who knows? There's not much of him to grab.
I think the problem was Charlie Polito couldn't see what he was grabbing there. He had his fringe over his face.
Thank you for that joke. We'll run with it for the rest of the game, surely. and it's short. Okay, we got three-quarter time here at Brighton Oval. The grand final's exciting. It's a good game of football. It's Walkerville 14 goals 9 to Hectorville 14-12.
If they could just make one move, Jamie Sullivan's certainly not in the game at full forward. Mark Downey not in the game at centre half forward. It reminds me last year when they swapped Elliot and Amato around. In my opinion, Sullivan has to go to full forward. Downey has to come to centre half forward, or at least Brobrook to centre half forward. They need more bite out of half forward. They're getting killed across half back or half forward. Hectorville's half back line certainly well on top of Walkerville's half forward line. Sullivan must go to full forward.
It's been a hell of a game, really. 3 points in it, and it's all set up for the last quarter.
The exciting last term, the final stands of the 1991 A5 season. The field umpire raises the ball, anybody's ball game. Hectorville by 3 points. What a finish. Cleary beaten this time by Hectorville's ruckman. Spooner out of the centre, giving his all for his club. Hectorville's ruckman in there trying to get a kick. Somehow the ball squeezed out. Play on. Scotty Orman finds Zanker. Could be an important start. Has got it. The first goal is always very important in any quarter. That surely will lift Hectorville. Perhaps slightly fortuitous. Umpire called a play on, picked out perhaps a soft free kick. And Hectorville lead by 9 points. By no means a match-winning lead. Walkerville will come back, be assured of that. We've got 20 very good players out there. Hectorville, however, since halfway through that third quarter, seem to have the ball bouncing for them.
Long way to go in the game. I think it's just a matter of whichever team keeps their head, the better. This is a very important win out of the centre. If we can goal straight away, it'll put the onus back on Hectorville. Ball up. Pidge does the ruck work. No one gets a clear knock. Peter Window working hard in there. Ball comes out toward the Hectorville end. Drape's working hard across the half-back line. Can't quite take it. Ball knocked out. Dave Conroy picks up. Handballs off to Gunny, who just gets the ball onto his boot. Toward Eddie. Eddie takes the ball, does well and kicks wide. He saw him out of the corner of his eye. Macca does well to get to the ball. Shepherd's out, knocks over to Whitey. Whitey handballs onto Charlie Polito. Charlie should straighten up and goal from here, but doesn't. Kicks into the forward lines. Sully tries to take the ball but can't. Working hard to get there again. Woody making yards. Oh, Mark Downey nearly intercepted then. Macca handballs off to Mark Downey. Mark Downey into the goals and goals. Back to 3 points. Brent Fleece.
Series of mistakes in Hectorville defence. Comedy of errors. Allow Walkerville in for what could only be classified as a very important goal, badly needed goal. Walkerville 15-9-99, still trail Hectorville 15-12 102. Played 3 minutes in this final quarter. Running time for the game. Just make it 3 now. Ball back in the centre. Walkerville down by 3 points. They must pay the price now. Hectorville's ruckman, decisive tap. Cleary perhaps Shepherd a little bit out of the middle. Halfback Gun tries to bust through, Ping holding the ball. Beaton plays on. Geez, they've allowed this advantage all to go. Beaton steadies and goals. I'll tell you what, that bloke has come on and kicked 2 very important goals. Walkerville, lift your heads. The game's not over. It's only 9 points. We've only played 5 minutes in this final quarter. Commentator's getting a bit excited. It's been a great game, Jamie Williams.
Walkerville must do the same as they did after the last Hectorville goal. They must reply again as they did and goal immediately to get it back within the 3 points. The next goal is very important. Boundary umpires getting it back toward the centre, and the crowd's certainly getting very involved at the moment. Field umpire, someone to throw it up. Pidge to do the ruck work again. Very important win out of the centre, this one. Ball goes up. I think Pidge has been shepherded out. No, the umpire's going to call a throw up again, but Pidge has definitely been shepherded out the last 2 occasions. Try and ball it up again. Let's try and get the game going this time. Ball goes up this time. Pidge gets the knock. Steph tries to take it. Comes to Peter Window. Handball's out wide. Can't quite take it. Lee Manuzzo was held onto slightly then, but the umpire certainly didn't see it that way. And there'll be another ball up on the Walkerville half-forward line. Brent, please.
Interesting gentleman right in front of our cameras has got a Heckie's wind cheater on. Wonder who he's broken for. Eddie Graham anyway. Needs to lift. Lee Manuzzo caught cold. Umpire says my ball. Orman steps over Manuzzo's head. Gives the free away. Stupid play, Scott Orman. His discipline doesn't really, well, at least like to be desired. Manuzzo, half-forward flank, 55 metres from goal. Sullivan, do something. Backing back, Hectorville. Lee Darrington, we go to Dave Sheridan, 5 minutes into the final quarter.
I listened to both camps at 3/4 time. There's a lot of noise. Let's see who's got the heart in the last quarter. Hectorville seem to be very revved up, I think, but Walkerville got a lot within. So they've got to bring that within without and make it happen in the last quarter. It's the ball's with Pidge on the half-forward flank. He gets it in long. The ball's high. Eddie Graham, the mercurial Eddie Graham. It's a bad luck, it's an unfortunate handball, but Peter Window's in. He won't give up. He traces hard, but it's very good skill by the Hectorville player to avoid the tackle. Goes to the centre. David McGlasson's there, holding the player on. He won't accept any crap. It's play on. Steph Window's down there. It's very good defence. He's been held on to. He's called play on by the umpire. Number 20, he came on at half time. Number 17 drills the ball down long. Mudgee was there and it's foul. Well smothered by Mudgee. Great football, and it's Clark again. It's Clark again. I said in the 3rd quarter, here was the difference, and Walkerville will have to find an answer. We've got 15 minutes to go.
Got a bit more than 15 minutes, got about probably 22, 23 minutes. Are Walkerville front runners? That's the question that people here at the moment want to know. They're 15 points down. They haven't been down much this year. A real test of character for those 20 Walkerville blokes out there. 15 points down. Umpire plays a free kick to Peter Window. Stupid play by Black. Their discipline sometimes just amazes you, Hectorville. Walkerville to centre half forward. Gee, Merchant. Jamie Sullivan shut right out of it today. Hardly had a sniff. Merchant. Oh, finds Macca. Somehow shoveled out by number 9, who really has lifted his work rate. He goes to the boundary. Out in the full. Dave Sheridan.
Again, coming in from an outside looking in, I guess centre forward and full forward have been what's done for Walkerville, but the work is around the ground. They got a lift. There's no doubt about it. From here, they got a lift to win the grand final. Let's hope at the end of the day that we'll be cheering for this team. They really got a lift.
Next goal very important. Shaw finds Black. Inches inside the boundary it must have been. Black centre wing. Out of side, goes to half forward. A little bit of attention. Scott Orman, the crumbs. Ducks back inside, cops one high. He'll play on, he's a madman. Goes across goal, looking for Jamie Mason, who marks. 45 metres out. Farrell offers the lead, doesn't want it. Perhaps backs himself, has Cornelius loose. Grabs, 30 metres out. For Walkerville's sake, let's hope Cornelius can stay this one.
Important shot for goal. This will be the difference between putting Walkerville 3 goals or 4 goals, the break between the teams. Walkerville can get it from within. The driver's still there. It's a big goal. Let's see what happens from here. What Walkerville needs to find something now to dig real deep. To dig real deep. Hectorville on a roll. Walkerville got to find something.
Hectorville 18-12, 120. Walkerville 15-9, 99. Plenty of time if Walkerville are good enough. Ball back in the centre. Looking for some moves. No real moves. Sullivan the full forward. Dennis at half forward. A tad too late in my opinion. Ball out of the centre. Hectorville, the initiative. Wood. Oh, he's kicked in at Zanka's face. That could be a turning point. Hectorville to full back. Forrest clears to Manuzzo. to Gunn. That's the better. Polito's shepherding. Good teamwork. Get their run going to Window. Oh, over the top. Those tired legs just couldn't bring him back that extra metre. Shaw to number 2 for Hectorville. To Spina. Spina's been a very consistent player. A little bit of cramp. He has worked hard though. Might just slow it down a little bit. Fires off to Clark. Want to kick it. Does. FAD. Soft perhaps, Jamie Williams.
Yeah, it was a little bit soft, but kicks in toward the half forward, and Cornelius takes the mark. Dead in front of goals, or approximately 40 metres out. And if he kicks this one, it's going to be very, very hard for Walkerville to come back from here. We've really had nothing up forward for the, ever since half time, and we've got to try and find something up there. The boys must lift. Cornelius kicks long, and that's straight through the centre. A very good kick at goal. That sees Walkerville down by, what's that, 4 and a bit, 4.5. So it's going to be very, very hard to get back from there. And I'd be inclined to make a few changes up the forward lines now.
Kevin Sheedy back in 1984 threw his side around a little bit with Sheedy's premiership. Can this one be Peter Window's premiership? The Cats down by 27 points. That's a fair margin in any game of football. Can they lift? They have to pay the price. I said, now's the time they must lift. An important centre bounce.
I think it's all been called. It's got to come down to be an exceptional premiership from here for Walkerville. But the movement's still on. Peter Window, the coach, down. Jamie Sullivan's got to make something of this. Could this be the curial goal? It's a goal. Let's see what happens in there. Could that be the turn that lifts Walkerville? The score being at about the 15-minute mark of the last quarter. 16 goals, 9 to Walkerville. Down 3 goals, 3. Let's see what happens from here. 19 goals, 12, Hectorville.
Surely that must lift Jamie Sullivan's confidence. He would have been an all-time low there for a while. He has been beaten today, but sign of a good player to bounce back and kick an important goal. He needs to carry that work on now. Jamie Sullivan, he's good enough. He's just got to start believing in himself. A real team lift of that one. Let's hope for Walkerville's sake.
What was interesting there is that the completion of that goal, a lot of Hectorville guys put their head down thinking, my God, are they going to keep coming back? Let's hope Walkerville can. There's a bit of drive out of the centre. Lee Manuzza under great pressure. Tremendous mark. He's got to get it forward quickly. We need a mark. Jamie Sullivan, could he be the star of the last quarter? He really has to kick this goal.
Jamie Sullivan. He's a long kick. 2 and 2 minutes. A few Hectorville supporters getting worried. One of them throwing an esky around. Jamie Sullivan, number 41. A lot of responsibility on his shoulders.
There's tension here.
There's a lot of tension. He cut the atmosphere with a knife. Sully has missed. Hold your head up though, Jamie. There's still plenty of time left. Difference 20 points. Modern day football, that's not a lot.
It needs someone to walk up to Jamie now and say he's got to take stead of that. Let's put that behind him. He could be the match winner.
On again. Short, loose checking Walkerville. Ideal Bradbrook. Still got a little bit left in him, I reckon, Braddles. Mark down, he needs to lift, certainly does. Manuzzo, crumbs. Quick kick, Braddles from the back. Can he do something? Hectorville in front. Mark. Somehow claps the umpires. Oh, Braddles gives away 50. Look up to the Braddles household. A little bit bemused about that. Didn't think there was a lot in that. Braddle's a very fair player. It was there. Co-commentator Dave Sheridan said it was there. Number 19, I believe, got Hectorville, or largely responsible for getting Hectorville back in the game in that third quarter. Goes short to Shaw. Very athletic player. Goes to half forward. Farrell outbodied this time. Forrest cops one high. Walker will need to steady. Draper. Slight kick to Peter Window. Has Manuzzo with space. Run for him, Charlie. Manuzzo. Long into the goal square has Braddles. Good kick. No, have a shot, Craig Bradbrook. Have a shot. Would he provide an option? Braddles a good kick normally. So they haven't put the mocker on him. Won't miss, says triple premiership player Stephen Tyndall. Craig Bradbrook. 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. Kick through it, Braddles does, and goals. Oh, hit the post, upset. Well, Dave Sheridan, we thought it was 3, but the goal umpire had a better position than us.
How crucial is that? How crucial is a Guy and White's decision? It looked like a goal from here. The angle was evident from your screen. What can happen? I don't know. Walker will have to get above that though. They've got to get better on the day. One kick shouldn't make the difference. Let's see what happens. Great work by Bobby Draper just there. Really have to work. Got about 10 minutes to go.
Bob Draper, great smother. Defensive things, those little things help win football games. A few Hectorville players cramping up. This is their 3rd final. Remember, Walkerville Luxury of the Week Express last week. You would think would run on the better. Hectorville through Spina. Has Darren Orman one hand. You've got to go harder than that. Slung off the ball. Polito, go hard, Charlie. Does. Mason. Play on. A little bit soft. Has Zanka. Zanka to centre half forward. Farrell 1-on-1. Doesn't drop too many. Held on. Jamie Williams shakes his head in bemusement. Simon Farrell. 50 metres out. Won't kick it. Tied legs.
This umpire has screwed the game up in the last 5 minutes. Football's supposed to be a spectacle. Umpires aren't supposed to be a part of it. They're not supposed to be seen, and this guy certainly has been in the last few minutes.
Dave Mudge, a risky handball goes across to Greg Forrest, was it? Goes across to Andrew Gunn. In on the centre, Dave McGlashan. Up, Macca looks like he's hurt. He committed himself. Phil Cleary, great desperation. Players still throwing themselves in on the ball after 110 minutes of footy. So I wonder how some of them can do it.
I think McGlashan's done an ankle twist there, but he'll put in for the last 10 minutes. It's desperate stuff. Walker really got to find something. Charlie Polito out of the centre. The ball goes loose. Hectorville got numbers at the ball, and that's perhaps the way it's been in the second half. McGlashan there working very hard. Polito again. Walkerville still in with a chance. It's a long kick into the forward line. Loose the ball goes. Hectorville 3-on-3, but they work the ball out with a clever kick out of the half-forward flank, and the crowd rise to the Hectorville players, but Walkerville really have to rise. Perhaps it will take the crowd to do it. Feel clear they can hold up here. They can take the time. They're in the box seat.
Simon Farrell, exceptional lead, a good kick. Has Clark across, drops it. Could be an important drop. Here's Walker on the rebound. Surely will goal. Eddie Graham. Centre wing, Mark Downey. Oh, Darrington over the top.
Been the difference.
I'll tell you what, Mark Downey shut right out of this ball game. Is he fit? This one wonders, is he fit?
Kind of indelibly imposed on a video.
Zanka to Shaw. Long Farrell free kick. Play on, beaten again, misses. Simon Farrell shakes his head. Advantage paid. Not fully capitalised on. Walkerville by 20 points. Jamie Williams.
Oh, there's still time, and the boys are good enough. But we must goal almost immediately, I feel. Probably Draper with the kick in from full back. Kicks long, looks for Eddie. Good kick, and Eddie takes the ball beautifully. Eddie with the ball across the half back line, must find a player. Kicks to Steph. Steph puts the ball down. 17 minutes of play gone, so there must be about 13 left. Steph put the ball down. The ball's gone out toward the wing. They've pumped into their half forward line, and they've pulled some crap out there, really. Even though it's gone to us, that's bullshit. Some of the frees they've pulled out. Mudgee kicks toward the wing. Steph in front, can't take the ball. Socket off the ground. Zanka takes it on the wing. Kicks it toward half forward. Very good kick. Norwood Districts with space. If he can take the handle and run into goals here, I think it's all over. And I think that might be good night, Dick Dave Sheridan.
It's been a good game of football. It's been a very, very good game of football. That could be the goal that's put them in front. We're looking at 17 minutes, 18 minutes into the last quarter. It's been a good game of football. Walkerville will keep on trying. But let's give some credit to Hectorville. They've run the ball the second half, and it's been a good spectacle.
Desperation stakes now for the Cats. They've thrown David Mudge. Where have they thrown Mudgee? They've thrown him onto the ball. David Mudge on the ball as a ruckman. Clear to centre half forward. Other moves. No, sorry, clear to centre half back. Steph Window. Ruck roving still with Eddie Graham. Macca out of the middle. Peter Window ruck roving. Where's Macca gone? Can't see Macca. Yeah, Macca's on a half-forward flank. Peter Window ruck roving. Eddie Graham perhaps back into the centre. David Mudge on the ball as a ruckman. Manuzzo to White. Get it moving, Adam. Adam goes long as he possibly can. Jamie Sullivan in front. Wants to grab. Just can't quite hold it. He was held on a little bit. Graham Wood. Can you manufacture something out of nothing? Keeps the ball in. Does. Great work, Woody. Oh, unfortunately, good tackle though by Scott Orman. Perhaps gives him one to go on with. Woody frustration. Walkerville still must keep their heads because anything's possible in footy.
Ball in the forward pocket. Walkerville must go from this one. Sully doing the ruck work. Knocks it down well to Whitey. There was a little bit of a shove there, but the umpire didn't see it, and it'll be balled up in our forward pocket. Must score from this forward push.
A few of the Walkerville supporters answering back to Hectorville supporters. They shouldn't lower their standards. They should be proud of their efforts at the moment. Every player in that ground has given 100%. Adam White, 40 metres out. Distance not a problem. Accuracy could be. White, kick looks pretty good actually off the boot. Sailed that one through. Whitey raised his arm. Perhaps one last chance for the Cats. We've played 21 minutes into this final quarter. Walkerville 17-11, 113, high scoring grand final. Hectorville 20-13, 133, 20 points.
Well, the seed of doubt has been placed by that kick. We've seen some incredible things this year in football. Could this be the most incredible win that Walkerville's ever achieved? We're looking at 4 goals. The equation is 4 goals in 4 minutes. Have to take a hit out of the centre, Graham, but it's Hectorville again. And so perhaps we start looking at the positive things that have happened today. Walkerville's tried hard all day. There's a handball by the Hectorville player, and this could really be the end of it. Okay, I think this time we can see that Hectorville have won the grand final. Congratulations to Hectorville, but Walkerville players have done really well. Peter Window has got them up this year. It's worked the team hard. We've got a good unit there, and there's positive signs for 1992.
Hectorville, as we mentioned earlier, and it's the third time I mentioned it, ammunition, fire in the belly. If you do lose a grand final the previous year and you get to play those opponents again, surely there must be incentive there to work so much harder for that ultimate goal. The premiership's the ultimate goal. Everybody knows, Hectorville players know how it feels to lose a grand final. They've worked their butts off today and this year just for the chance to play against Walkerville. Walkerville won't give up, no doubt about that. They'll fight to the end. They've got some real good ball winners in there. McGlashan, Mudgee, Peter Window, Stephen Window, Big Heart, Eddie Graham, Dave Conroy. You can go through their side. They haven't really had a weak link. Maybe the loss of Lubke was a little bit telling. They had perhaps lacked a little bit around the crumbing contest. Hectorville into attack. Clark one-on-one. Forrest done a pretty good job. To Gunn, who's rebounded fairly well. Beat a good opponent in the first half. When he was taken off the ground, he's continued the good work. Eddie Graham. What will he do? Ed goes long, looking for anybody. Doesn't matter. Sully outpouring on this occasion. 50-metre penalty given away by Adam White. Whitey, don't lower your standards now, fella.
Indicative of the story of the afternoon. Perhaps, I don't know, the second half might be a little bit too often second of the ball. But you can argue about things. I think the heart from Walkerville has really been there all day. Hectorville, they had a lot to win by today's game, and they've done particularly well. We can talk about this all day, but Farrell's been a factor. Our forward line has been cut out very well by the Hectorville back line. But Walkerville will keep trying. They'll keep trying even in the dying moments. Never ever wants to give up. Draper with the ball. He's got Polito head. Dodges, weaves. Takes the luxury of a bounce at this late stage of the afternoon. Goes head to Sullivan. Sullivan with a great mark. Polito scouts. Says that play on? No, they've called it back. But Jamie's got a chance to put the ball forward for Walkerville in these dying moments of the 1991 season.
Jamie Sullivan, 45 metres out, floats one to full forward. Battles up. Oh, Whitey, unlucky, opportunist. Get up, Adam. You haven't been hurt.
Brendan Felice is ruthless.
Adam White played pretty well from his centre wing. He's won the duel. Heckies from fullback. Jamie Sullivan, half forward flank, feeds to Mudgee. He's been thrown on the ball. Mudgee, arms pinged. Good defence, Hectorville. Centre wing out in the full, unfortunately for them. Oh, that's 50 surely. Right. Robert Bob Draper to clear. Slowly on the defensive side of centre.
Where'd he go?
Goes to centre forward. Who's up? Mudge flies. Hectorville Ruckman. He's played a grand game. Perhaps could be the Norm Smith medalist.
Well, what surprises me is that Brett Fleece made that comment with both hands on the microphone. I find that hard to believe. But we're getting into the closing stages of the game. It's about time. We're about to see a Hectorville victory, I believe. That's the way football works. Walkerville will bounce back next year. They'll be in A4. They'll work very hard over the pre-season. And Greg Forrest clears to the centre, but it's Hectorville again. Walkerville still running to make the numbers in the middle there.
Been very impressive, Greg Forrest's game today. He's had 3 pretty tough opponents and he's held his head up. As the most Walkerville players, they Andrew Gunn, and as Dave Sheridan said, it's been a very successful year for the Walkerville Footy Club as a whole. They've taken another step. They came into amateur league with the aim of going up grades. They've done that 2 years. They've got up 2 grades into A4 next year. They'll bounce back and they'll probably have the fire in the belly next year. Ball half forward flank for Walkerville, out of bounds. Time you would think would run out for the Cats. Played 26 minutes. They're down by 25 points. High scoring grand final. They won't give up though. Ball thrown in. Hectorville working it out.
In this stage we can say that at no stage has any player from Walkerville ever given up. There's been a few bounces, things have gone the way. Nobby Obb still working hard out of defence there, running the ball out. And they're giving their all right to the end. There's the coach there, hard at the tackle, fast, fierce after the ball. Walkerville's numbers still around the ball. David Mudge with a handball to the coach. He's on the left foot. He throws it in the forward line. But perhaps as the story all day, Hectorville, or perhaps particularly in the second half, working hard in defence.
Dave, with 3 or 4 minutes to go, what moves can they make a move? Footy's a funny game. Can they get back into it?
Well, to get back into it, footy would have to be a terribly funny game. Perhaps we'd have to juggle the scoreboard, rape the goal umpires, and get them to scrub out the names and change them around. But that's not even funny, even on a replay. But the fact is, it's difficult to be funny this time of the day. Hectorville have been the better team on the day. That's the way you got to live football, and you get by and you learn by that. Walkerville will try hard. There's a handball still. They're working really hard in this last quarter. But 1992 has been a very good year, and Lee Manuzzo there with a very difficult, hard effort at the end there. What can I say? It's been a good effort. Peter Window still working very hard. The coach, 1-on-1 here, and the coach wins out. Well done, Peter Window. He still has never ever given up, and he's been inspiration to Walkerville over the time that I've been here and Tom and I've been away.
Pete Window's played a very good leading. He's led by example today. Good coach's game. I guess you don't want to individualise, but if you go through Walkerville's side, the honours certainly will be with Lee Manuzzo today. He's been a grand effort. He's thrown his body and he's only got a light frame. His disposals have been very good as Steve Lubke warms up to go back on. Eddie Graham, they're taking off. Perhaps Graham Wood perhaps coming off. Steve Lubke, perhaps in his last hurrah for Walkerville. Graham Wood, always an opportunist, goes to full forward. Hectorville once again rebound. They've come well today from defence. To Shaw, Steph, great pace from Steve Window. He won't give up, he never gives up. He's got a heart as big as Brighton Oval. Greg Forrest, I've been impressed with Greg today too. Downy, Mark Downy up, just can't hold on to it.
They're not giving up, Walkerville.
They're not giving up. No player on the ground has ever given up. They've got too much pride. Bradall slams one through. Perhaps a belated goal, but fully deserved to Walker. 18-12, 120. Hectorville 21-13, 139. And Dave, if you said to me today that Walker will kick 18 goals, 12, 120 and lose the grand final, I would have called the police.
I guess as much as the defence has worked hard, it's been a perfect day for football. The ground has been hard, the air has been still, and there's been very good skill on both sides. And I don't think the defence has let either side down. Perhaps it's been a battle of defences, and the players has gone that way. I think the third quarter made the difference. I think this last quarter's been a great battle from both sides, but there's still work to do, and neither side has given up. It's been a great game of football, and perhaps it's one we'll look at for years to come, and you'll get sick of the sound of my voice. So here's Jamie.
Walkerville came here today in search of 2 premierships. A good effort by their B grade to win the flag. And as Dave said, their A grade has never stopped trying today. Unfortunately, a few lucky breaks. Perhaps Hectorville, obviously Hectorville have played the better footy. But as was mentioned, that's the way footy goes. Not much else we can really say. Played 30 minutes in this final quarter. Full credit to Hectorville. Congratulations, Hectorville Football Club, for bouncing back and winning today.
Well, okay, this hasn't got a national broadcast, but yeah, Walkerville, it's been a very good day today. They worked very hard. Still working hard in the back line there. It's difficult to comment at this stage of the game because as commentators we're pretty upset as well. That's the way football goes. They've tried their best on the day. They're still working out of the middle. There's the handball to Peter Window, the coach. He's worked very hard. Let's see what he can make out of this. He put on his brother Stephen, the B grade coach, the victorious B grade coach today. He's put it in long, and there's a great goal just to show you that Walkerville are never ever going to lie down. Never going to lie down. They're going to keep going.
They're typical of the Windows spirit today. Both Peter and Stephen have been fine contributors. There has not really been a weak link in this Walkerville side today. There has not really been a weak link in this Walkerville side or the Walkerville club throughout the year. They've done their job. They got up to A4. Obviously, to win a premiership is a very high individual honour and a very high team honour. Unfortunately, it hasn't happened for Walkerville today. But as Shiro said, they've never ever stopped trying, and they're still not trying. They still haven't stopped trying. Eddie Graham trying to get the ball out of centre. Surely was held on to. Umpires called holding the balls. But that decision's been reversed. Tony Zancarella's given away an undisciplined free kick to Steve Window. Played 31 minutes, down by 13 points. You would have thought time would have run out.
Could it be a fairy tale end?
Could it be a fairy tale end? The commentators have written them off. I'm sure the players have it though. Mark Downey at full forward. Downey.
If this is indicative of Walkerville's 1992 season, the fact they're finishing off today, never ever given up, it's admirable from up here.
Great fighting spirit from the Cats. Let's hope Downey can just sink this one. Does, misses. 12 points, 2 straight kicks separating these 2 fine running sides today.
How much time on do you think they'll be, Brett?
I reckon we played 31.5 minutes. I couldn't see there being much longer, perhaps a minute and a half. I hope there's 3 minutes. Mudgee, look at that. Guernsey ripped. Won't stop trying. Plays on, goes short to Lubke. Lubke wants to get it moving. A goal here would make it extremely interesting. Could there be a draw? Sully, Polito, Crumbs, can he goal? Coming around. Oh, 11 points in it.
Sensational game of football. Sensational game of football.
40 Spartans out there, Show. 40 Spartans.
I can't say anything to that. That's 40 Spartans. Yes, they're working very hard for them.
40 Spartans. That's all you can say. They've all worked their guts out for in their individual clubs. Mudgee up high. Just couldn't hang on. Perhaps time's running out. We played 32.5 minutes. Only seconds remaining in this 1991 A5 Grand Final. Umpire to throw it in, centre wing, siren imminent. One last hurrah for the Cats. Peter Window working tirelessly. They're a bit all over. You've heard it. It's all over. Jubilant scenes for Heckies.
I'm impressed. I'm very impressed with what I've seen today. What a great contest. Walkerville could have given up with 10 minutes to go. I must admit, as a commentator, it was difficult to see them getting back. They made 3 or 4 forward thrusts in the last 5 minutes of the game. What a tremendous game of football. And Well, there's got to be a winner, there's got to be a loser, and today it's Walkerville the loser. It's a great spectacle of footy. That's what football's all about, and perhaps Walkerville got a lot to learn from next year about what's happened today. They'll think positively about what's happened, and they'll work hard over the pre-season to make sure in the A4s they're right up there.
A couple of players, Lee Minozzo, gallant player, Walkerville's best today. Adam White going into the change rooms early. The game's all over. Hectorville the 1991 A5 premiers. All Walkerville players can hold their heads high. As Shay said, there's not much you can say. Being a Walkerville player or a Walkerville supporter, obviously you'd like to see your side win, but full credit to Hectorville today. They were a better side on the day and they won this game by 11 points.
But I think football was the winner today.
It's hard to say that. Football was the winner. Fantastic game of football. Jamie, just finish it off, mate. Just finish it off.